That's only I would assume if it was no negligence on their part. I would assume. I don't know. I know insurances will cover it if there was something like a compromise or whatever like that, but I don't know how their insurance was written out, whether it was written to include an exploit, if it was written as far as a compromise from an entity other than themselves making a mistake. I don't know.
Does it show on Fonzie's tweet? Does it show how much they got, or
From what I understood, it was 27, I think 27,000 BNB, something like that. They actually drained the liquidity out of it. Oh, they did leave 50 Cent.
what? That's great. If anybody has any more information, like please come up. Like I said, I was kind of in the middle of something, and this is like worst case timing for me. I'm just kind of providing a space on YouTube and Twitter to just cover this for people who are in safe. And like, I don't want stuff like this to happen, and I still don't even know what happened, But just it happened to be somebody was paying attention, and then got access and got in there and got that. I would like to know the amounts as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody's welcome to come up.
Well,
I'm just setting up a stream real fast.
I was trying to get see if I can get in touch with Realist because he has actual information on what happened, not to FUD it, but just to let everybody know exactly what happened. So I'm trying to reach him now.
Truth, can we get some of the maxis in here in terms of what kind of the thought processes for this is? And then they would probably know more than CCI would, in terms of the insurance policy and how this is possibly insured. I don't know how that's possible.
True.
I mean, my whole thing is, SVB wasn't insured the entire amount, so I don't know how Safemoon is. Obviously, different entities, but it just doesn't logically make sense to me. And guys, please tweet out the space. If you have any friends that know more than myself and CC do, we're more than welcome to join up here and let us know what's going on and debrief us.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just getting the YouTube side of things set up real fast, and then we can try to start looking at what's going on. I'm still trying to get the numbers. Would be really nice.
CC, what is your YouTube so people can follow along there as well and give you a follow? And
oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, just let the people know what your YouTube is, and people can follow along from your YouTube if there's an option for that as well.
Yeah, yeah. My YouTube, I have two channels. One is Crypto Control. The other one's the Crypto Control Show. So I don't know what happened, guys. I'm sorry that we're not ready. I'm going live and trying to pull resources together. But I'll put it on the screen right now on the YouTube side of things, and it's the same tweet that I think somebody pinned that to the top. Fonzie's tweet, yeah. So if you want to click through that, and it'll show that I don't know. I guess somebody or a bot. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, sure, a bot. They're thinking like the team is doing this and like bailing or something. I'm not going to jump the gun on that because John Caroni already posted in the Discord. Not that that really means anything, but he posted it in the Safemoon Discord saying that they're aware of it and they're dealing with it. And I think that the kind of the go-to answer for this is it's insured. So if somebody in here, you're welcome to come up. It's not a fuzz space. If you know how much it was insured for, because usually it's only up to a certain amount or stuff, or and like if we can figure out how much was actually lost, that would be good. Because best case scenario, as much as I don't like John Caroni, just to be frank, and I think he's a fraud, I don't want this to happen to people. So like ideally, best case scenario, like people get their money back what they had in, but I guess we'll find out. I'm trying to pull up John's Discord right now. And yeah, if you guys want to come up or you have anything to say, just jump up and start talking. I'm still working on some stuff on my end. And Andrew, if you, I know that might be a lot to put on you, but if you could host for a little bit.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Shouldn't be a problem. Everyone's more than welcome to come up and talk about the the real-time, real action LP crisis right now. What did Truth? You know what John Caroni posted in the Discord?
Yeah, basically just that they're working on it, and that they are aware of the situation, and they're going to give us further information soon. I just messaged Realist, and hopefully he'll join in. He's got more information on it.
Yeah, I might have to unblock him. I think we didn't get along in the past, but if he wants to join, yeah, I would love to hear somebody else's
Oh,
take on that.
yeah, he actually did the digging. He's got actual, proof for what happened. He can go line by line. So if you can let him in, if he'll come in, I don't know.
Yeah, can you tell me like his handle so I can search him and unblock him?
At burner number 44.
Okay, cool. What's up, YouTube side of things? I was still in just because my losses were so extreme. It was just ludicrous to sell. When's the stream starting? It started right now. I'm just trying to get everything set up. I usually prepare for these things, and this kind of happened out of nowhere. And I was hoping that just the people that are smarter than me would join and start talking about it. But anybody can come up here and talk about these things. I know that there's kind of like a multi reaction to this, from Futters probably being happy and being like, oh, it's the end, like, thank God, to like the maxi thing is like, hey, it's insured, there's nothing to worry about. But either way, it's a scary thing, and I don't celebrate people, losing money. Um, Pitor, somebody says that's now new. How people to stealing people call it hacked. I mean, that is something that when these things happen, there's not really a way, unless you figure out who actually wallet was, or bot was able to get in, who actually did it. There's no way to distinguish whether it's the team or not. And now if the socials got deleted and stuff like that, that'd be like an obvious sign of like, okay, John's leaving with the money. I don't tend to think that's what's going down right now, because John's like literally in court, like with his mom and his uncle right now. uh, you know, so it would just be a real interesting time to just be like, oh, let's just rug it, let's just like plan that. So I don't actually lean towards thinking that the team did this. I probably do to think it was more than likely just some outside person paying attention to the contracts, found a loophole and got in and rugged it. So it'll just come down to like how much was taken and how much can be covered by the insurance if it is covered. Like I don't even know much about that, but if anybody wants to come up, I'd really appreciate it.
I wonder if this is a liability issue. Like, even if it was a hack, are they legally liable? Because there was a hack, like, theoretically speaking, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's another great question. That if somebody like Generation Crypto, if he's down there, you might have a better perspective on something like that, or just like even setting aside, like let's just assume best case scenario that it was insured and that they somehow do get that money back and it goes back into the liquidity. Like, what are the implications of that for for like legally? Can you take them to court for that, or how is that going to affect the future of Safemoon? Which is already like on its last leg in my perspective. Um, yeah, and everybody in the Discord is like, I thought we had Orbital Shield. I'm like, I didn't think Orbital Shield had anything to do with SafeMoon itself. I thought it was just your wallet. But everybody in the Discord, in the SafeMoon Discord, was like thinking that Orbital Shield was going to protect the LP. I guess is what they thought.
CC, what is orbital shield? I literally don't know anything about the Safemoon ecosystem. Like,
It's just like a login system where you just have to log in like with an email or something like that, and it gives you access to all your wallets. But it's supposed to be like multi-encrypted or something. It sounds bad to me. I don't understand it fully, but it just sounds like if they get your login, then they have access to all your wallets. But if anybody who understands these things, like if you are Maxi and you think I'm saying it wrong, definitely welcome come up and explain these things to us. I'm not trying to put out like just negative information. I'm trying to be as real as possible. So if you guys feel like we're missing something, definitely come up and educate us and help people who might be freaking out, like understand what's going on. Looks like we got somebody requested. Do you see that?
Yep. I brought him up, and he will be able to speak whenever it's finished connecting. Obviously, this is very, very real time, which is the information we're going to be repeating it and obviously disclosing it as well as distributing it as we get the information at hand. But I assume if anything we do miss, you guys will probably see a Coffee Zilly video probably in the next 2-3 days. He's pretty quick with that as well. So if there's anything that we did miss or got incorrect for whatever reason, Coffee Zilly will probably have a video for this pretty shortly, as he really does cover this very, very aggressively.
Okay, UFMJA, how's it going, man? Did you have a take on anything that's going down?
I was just wondering, is the trading still active? The price on my wallet is showing that it's up 75%. I've doubled what I had before the hack now.
That's a great question. And if anything, like I'm live right here to just provide a place for people to come to and work, pull great minds together to understand what's going on. They should be live with something like this going on.
Yeah, the price on my wallet is showing that it's up almost 75% right now. And it was down 20 a minute ago. So
what is the price show? Like, what is the actual price, if you don't mind me asking? In your wallet, is this a Safemoon wallet?
Yeah, Safemoon wallet, and then it's got the price at 0.33.
Don't try to sell. Don't try to buy. If you do, there's the slipperage is up to about 85%. So if you try to sell thinking you have that much, when you do settle, you're going to have probably 1/3 of that. There's not enough liquidity in there. It's about $85 in the liquidity pool right now. So don't sell. Don't do anything until they fix it.
Yeah, if you guys, like I keep saying, if you guys on the YouTube side or the Twitter side of things come up and whatever information you have to share on this just to help people while they're dealing with this, that seems like pretty good advice as far as if you go try to like, oh, cool, my bag's up high, and you try to sell, you might lose a lot. So I would just find out. I mean, that's a rough call either way, but if they're claiming that it's insured, like I'm trying to find that out right now. Like, is it actually insured? How much is insured? How would that work? Are they going to pause it? Do they have the ability to pause it? Like, those are things I don't know. But if you're up on stage, you don't have to raise your hand. Just go ahead and say what's on your mind. I'm still working on a couple of things. I apologize.
What's up, guys? No, man, I just wanted to come up. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but if you go on KuCoin right now, it shows that the sell tax has been changed to 0%.
Really? Why would they do that?
Darkest, who has the ability to change the sell tax?
The only people that can do that are the ones that have control over the dev wallet.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that. Well, I don't know. Like, I didn't think it could be hacked at all. Like, I think understanding how it got hacked might give you an idea of.
They were using a proxy contract for this, like this version of V2, right? Like that was a well-known thing. They're using a proxy contract, and so. Mm-hmm. Now, again, I don't know details in terms of like what may or may not have happened with the hack, but KuCoin adjusts in real time in terms of like seeing the sell tax, the buy tax, all that stuff, right? So if it says zero sell tax on KuCoin, that means that somebody actually changed the tax to 0. So, what that means, I don't know, but I mean that's crazy, man. I'm sorry for anybody here that lost money, man. That sucks. Seriously. I hope you guys can get something back, man, for real.
I'm trying to confirm right now because if that's the case, then it was a total hack or a total compromise. Sorry, but can't quite get to that part yet.
Like it's possible that they got control of. They turned off the tax so that when they pulled the LP, it wouldn't take 10%. Is that what you're saying? Or
well, I mean, pulling LP. To be honest, like if you're doing it from the dev wallet, I don't know if that would tax you. To be honest, I mean, if because they clearly have the ability to whitelist wallets, like the wallets that they have been, creating volume with, right? So. I don't know, man, but I mean, just the fact that the cell tax does show 0% there is kind of that's definitely off for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a once again weird situation. Once again, weird situation.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey,
We were
well,
just
Hey,
realized that I think it just kind of happened out of the blue, right? Like this is really, really spontaneous. Like
yeah,
there
like
was,
there wasn't any kind
yeah,
of like this was
yeah.
about to happen. Honestly, Fonzie just came out of the woods to post. I didn't see like anybody talking about it, and then I saw Fonzie's post, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Fonzie's still alive." And then I saw like everybody freaking out, and I was like, "There's no way." And I go in the Discord and I see John's message of saying we're aware and we're dealing with it, and then everybody's just saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's insured, it's insured." So
Yeah,
I don't know what's going
even
on. What's up,
hey,
Jess?
what's going on? Even if it's insured, which, I would take whatever John is saying very, very lightly.
with a big grain of
Yeah,
salt.
there's no way that it's going to be 100% insured. Like, that's just not going to happen. And at this point, like, how can you even trust that this, uh, okay, let's say it wasn't an inside job or whatever. Just did they have the correct security protocols in place to actually be approved for this quote unquote insurance that they have? You know?
Well, I look. I'm not gonna pretend to be a legal expert when it comes to that, but I can tell you this. Um, there's virtually no way in hell that any insurance company is going to insure multiple millions of dollars worth of liquidity when you won't even fucking lock it. Like they wouldn't even lock the LP. So how are you going to say that something like that is insured when you wouldn't even lock the LP? Like, and they said we are never locking the LP again. That is not something that we will ever do. Like it was something to be proud of. And it's like, no, bro. Like that makes it that much easier for something like this to happen. And obviously that did just happen. And so it's like, I mean, again, I don't know what their deal is in terms of what they say that they have, but I don't know. That's just kind of hard to believe that an insurance company would insure millions of dollars worth of liquidity when you don't even lock it.
So it says 9 million or about around 9 million is what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's not even bring up the fact that when they had did that whole cross chain thing back, like literally like a year ago now, when they were like, "Oh, we're shutting down Safemoon swap to so we can cross the chains," and, for the big birthday thing, right? That was the big deal, and then they removed $10 million or worth of LP in BUSD and never put it back, and just let the BNB LP. Like, and then I got banned from the Discord for asking about that. I was like, "Hey, what happened to the other? There's 20 million of LP. There's 20. No, there isn't. There's $10 million worth of LP, and it's in BNB. The BUSD liquidity that was there is gone." And then somebody said, "Oh, well, John has control over the treasury, and so we should trust him." And then they banned me. So like I didn't even care. I mean, I wasn't even holding Safemoon anymore at that point, but it was just a point to like, okay, you guys removed damn near $10 million worth of liquidity, and you don't even tell anybody. And then when someone asks you, you just ban them. So, I mean,
Wait a second. Hey, so somebody correct me on this or confirm this for me. So like I just searched up SafeMoon's website, and it says you can't reach this page. Check if there's a typo in safemoon.net. So it looks like it's just gone. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing, but I was just trying to pull up their site to
Is
see
it
like what's going on.
safemoon.net? Yeah, it's not working.
well, isn't
It's
it
just not.
safemoon.com now or something?
Let me check.
Remember
Oh
that
yeah,
was a
that's
big deal.
working.
They made it .com, not .net.
I'll be honest. I really don't think they did this, but I'm not going to like fully say they didn't. I just lean towards thinking that it was probably somebody else. And my reasoning behind that is because John's literally in court, like regarding like his funding and his mom and the lawsuit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it would just be if you'd have, I mean, and I don't want to put that past John, but you'd have to be the dumbest person on the planet to rug your own project while you're going to court with people
No, I
about it.
mean, yeah, no, I don't necessarily think that Caroni rugged specifically, right? But like at the same time, I mean, you took no real precautions to actually secure your investors' money if you're going to consistently just say we're leaving the LP. I mean, if you went on PooCoin the entire time that SafeMoon V2 has been trading, it said 97%, 98% liquidity unlocked, and he's like, yeah, we're never locking the liquidity again. And it's like, okay, but there's, like to a certain extent though, I mean, bigger projects, right? You have multi-sig wallets when you have that much LP, right? And so that way it ensures that no one person can just say, hey, click, boom, remove liquidity. You have, you take steps to ensure that your investors are safe. And so, I mean, again, I don't know what exactly happened, man, but I'm sorry for anybody that lost some money, man.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it
it
is
seems like
safemoon.com, just to make sure I don't like have people like, oh god, they deleted the site. It's safemoon.com. They switched it, and I had it like where I start typing in safemoon, and it auto did safemoon.net. So that's my bad on that one.
yeah, it's like one or two things, I believe. Anyway, it's like either an inside job, not John Caroni specifically, but like someone
Holy
that's in the
shit.
team, or they pissed off the wrong people and they waited for the right moment to drain their liquidity. And like, if that is the case, like, if they do refill it in like quotes with insurance, they can easily do it
That
again.
that quote unquote pissed off list is rather long, probably longer than Santa's list every Christmas. Dimitri,
Oh
what
yeah.
is going on?
Hey, how's everyone doing? Sorry, I'm a little cracky. I'm under the weather. Just received a call about the recent LP hack. Crypto Control, my question would be is how does this happen with Orbital Shield? And as we look into the future, how can companies be secure in Orbital Shield with such a major hack on the LP?
I mean, as far as I understand, Orbital Shield was like a sign-in for your wallet, and that's not attached to like the contract, the SafeMoon contract. Like in my mind, those were always separate. So whenever I saw everybody freaking out, thinking that Orbital Shield was going to protect them, I was like, why would you think that that was protecting the contract? So for me, that's how I understand it. If somebody else wants to come up here and give a different take on that, you're welcome to. But to me, like those were just not. That's for your wallet. That's like you sign into your email, and then you have all your wallets. So it's not like a layer of protection, as far as I understood, on just like a contract of I don't see how that is connected at all.
Okay. And so, has there been any research into the blockchain to get an understanding on what happened, who may have done this, how was the contract exploited, or anything of that nature?
Yeah, there are people. I'm not one of them. If you're in the chat, if you're on the YouTube side of things, guys, we're live on Twitter right now. My Twitter's at Crypto Control 3. For some reason, two other people had Crypto Control 1 and 2, so I had to take 3. And you can join the space if you have something you want to say up here. Really, we're just trying to like cover this, understand it, and provide people information that could potentially help them if you had a decent amount of money in SafeMoon. Just to try to help you not make bad decisions. Like right now might be a dangerous time to interact with the contract because typically when these types of things happen, they still have access to it. Meaning that if people thought, oh, this is a great time to buy because the price is down, well, they might just take that too. So it's a really dangerous time to do anything with your bag, especially if your bag is showing, like somebody came in earlier and said that their bag was showing at 2x what it actually was. And then somebody up here saying that like it's potential that if you try to sell that, you get nothing back. It'll show in your bag as being a lot, but when you go to sell, you won't get anything. But anybody's welcome to come up, guys. Especially if you have something that's helpful to people, or you just have something you want to say. Go ahead.
If you, oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, so I'm looking at BSC scan right now, and so when you go to, and this is kind of tough because I know like they are technically using a proxy contract, but if you go to the contract itself, right, and then you click on the deployer or like contract creator, which sends you to the SafeMoon deployer, it said an hour and 2 minutes ago they use the pause contract function. And then 6 hours before that, they did set whitelist, upgrade, 8 hours ago. So, I mean, I don't know what the fuck pause contract is an hour ago, but you know, how long has this happened? Or how long ago did it happen? Does anybody know like the exact time or?
The timestamp for the $9 million withdrawal was 2 hours and 32 minutes ago. That's what I'm looking at.
And Safemoon's recent, I guess, statement, if you want to consider even a statement, was about 42 minutes ago on Twitter. The one thing that's a little bit weird to me that we've seen this before, so it kind of gives me some PTSD, is when people tweet things and there's not able to comment on those things. Because Safemoon did tweet about 42 minutes ago. I'll post that up top. But they did obviously restrict comments, and kind of when things of that nature are kind of restricted, it's kind of really does put me the wrong way, kind of rubs me the wrong way in terms of maybe this is something that happened inside, or maybe it's not. But I really hate when comments are restricted. It's usually behavior from people that are definitely not doing stuff very ethical.
Well, I don't know if he wants to talk or not, man, but Tech, this down in the audience, is a lot more tech friendly, excuse the pun, than I am. So he could probably explain what's going on a lot better than most anybody else up here. So I don't know if he wants to come up though or not.
I did send him a text message. He said that he is quote unquote blank busy. I'll let you guys fill in the other word, but I did send him a text message though.
So yeah, if anybody wants to come up on this side, if you're on the YouTube side, guys, just go to Twitter and search up Crypto Control, and you can just click on my name and join the space, and then raise your hand, and Andrew or Jess will bring you guys up. The only purpose of doing this, guys, like I don't get any. I'm just trying to let you know I'm not going to make money for this, whatever. I really just want you guys to get the best information you can get while this is happening. And for people that are studying it, trying to figure, like, it's when these things happen, you try to figure out what actually happened and how is this going to affect the investors. And to me, like the main question right now is like, yeah, when we start describing what they're doing, and it'd be great if somebody who understood this stuff would come up here. Like, it sounds like they just had total control of the contract, like pause contracts, disable selling, and then pull the liquidity. That just sounds like an inside job, and I know that's what a lot of people on the YouTube side are saying, and a lot of people feel that way, and I'm sure a lot of people have such a negative view of Safemoon that they just kind of assume that they did that. I still don't lean towards that. That'd be pretty shocking to me if it was John. Like, I don't know who else had access to the contract, the owner. So, yeah, but I want to read something from Generation Crypto real quick because he's pretty good with lawyer stuff. He said, as far as he's aware, they never announced who was insuring the LP, so not sure that was real or not. Yeah, like we covered that stuff, and if they would have given us numbers, we would have covered that, and I just don't remember covering that to know how much it is, because sometimes it's only like up to a certain amount, and like I guess if it was only 8 million, then it would just have to be up to 8 million, right? Or around 9 million. Sorry, it shows 8,911,000 on the hash. But Generation also said if it is, there will be limits of insurability, so it depends on how much was actually insured. If any, it was like a bit of time before anyone saw any return of funds. It was insured up to the policy limits if they find it an insurable loss, which that's another question that would come into it is like, is it insured against what just happened? That would be another question, which the insurance company could deem is a non-insurable loss, yeah.
CC, can you pin that up top while we get to the hands real quick so people can kind of monitor and really take a look at what you just said. We do have noted Pine first, and then we'll go to Tech right after.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right. I just wanted to speak on what Crypto Control said about Orbital Shield. I think it does have to do with the login, but I just wanted to say the general public probably doesn't know that because Orbital Shield's main thing is about safety. So I think a Safemoon fan or not, no matter what side of the fence you fall on, I think it's just a negative outlook on Orbital Shield as a whole in general, considering their whole thing was about safety. No matter if it regards to the login or not, because like I said, I don't think the general public knows the difference between that.
Definitely a great point. Tech, you got the mic.
Yeah, my first question.
Okay, real quickly, I'm sorry. I didn't get to read this because I'm blocked by Safemoon, as I'm sure many of us are. But they posted to the Safemoon community, we want to inform you that our LP has been compromised. We're taking swift action in an attempt to resolve the issue as soon as possible. Follow here for updates. And thank you for your support as we address the situation, is what they said. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so I mean, the first thing I'll say, like, I think this was addressed months ago, about the liquidity being unlocked and being in a centralized location. Like I have intimate, relations, in terms of knowledge, and a lot of what Safemoon does is outsourced work. So it's like Caroni's not a programmer by any means. So it's like something like this, that type of oversight could happen, but the recklessness in having all of the LP in one location when you could have distributed that amongst 20 contracts, 30 contracts, 20 wallets is a major oversight. But I think SafeMoon Community is in good hands because Crony has at least 20 million in USDT. So if the insurance can't make it up, tell him to put that money back into the LP. I'm out of here.
Well, yeah, that is what the consensus is that he will do to make it right, if he'll make it right. But he does have that in the treasury, from what I understood. I'm not part of the core team, so I don't know if they divvy. You don't follow people that don't follow the blockchain, that's what you're going to get. If you follow people that do follow the blockchain, they can track that money. That money is sitting in a wallet. And whether it's the treasury wallet, whether it's his personal wallet, whatever, it's sitting there. It's still there. It's not gone like people think. Oh, yeah, he did buy a couple of houses and some cars. I get that. But the majority of that money is still sitting there. Follow it on the blockchain. It's still there. I think
Yeah.
Amy does a good job at that, at tracking that wallet, and it's still there. So, as far as I
So
want
it's not
to stress,
something public that he has. It's
no,
just
no,
a wallet that somebody found that
no,
could
no.
potentially be stolen liquidity.
No, ma'am. It's not. It's not something that it's made public, but it's there. It was during that move that everybody was uptight about because they said it was missing. It's not actually missing. It's in a wallet and it hasn't moved. So, I mean, you can check it on the blockchain. I mean, like I said, Amy does a good job at looking at that kind of thing. Now, as far as selling, again, I'm a stress to you. The same way they did the migration from V1 to V2 and that little gap where everybody tried to buy the dip and they were getting plenty of safe moon or they were getting locked out. Well, in this case, you will get locked out. You will, it's like doing a 99% on if you try to buy or sell. So don't do it. You got to wait and find out what they're going to do. If he'll inject that money, fine. I hate to say it, but give them the benefit of the doubt. It's there. Let's see what they do.
Yeah. So everybody in here owns Safemoon is my question.
No.
All right.
Why does that matter?
Well, I mean,
Why does it
my
matter?
question is, I've just been in crypto for so long, and I'm young, and like my one of my first I guess come ups in crypto or good somewhat investment was Safemoon, and I really put money blindly in it the second week. I was on TikTok. I don't use TikTok anymore. That shit's fucking Matrix. But like whenever fucking Safemoon came out, I saw Safemoon come out the day that it came out. I was watching Safemoon with like 10 zeros, and I was like, what the fuck is this meme coin? What is this? Could have bought in. Ended up buying like 2 weeks later. Had a huge bag, but I don't own that shit anymore. You guys need to get into actual coins like KYC coins. For example, look into the metal ecosystem that is created by companies.
Bro, if you're up here to chill,
Oh, don't.
I'm sorry, you're not going to show.
Thank you.
yeah, come on, man. Like, read the room here.
Stargaze, you got it. You got the mic.
Oh, no. I was just telling this guy to read the room. I mean, Jesus Christ. You're talking about millions of dollars getting rugged. You're up here shilling shit. Come on, bro.
I'm not
The fuck?
shilling anything. I'm shilling an
You are.
opportunity for you to
Bro, you're
make
sitting here telling people
money,
to go look at the
for
metal
you to be
ecosystem.
financially free.
What the fuck you doing, man? Read the room. Jesus.
Crypto kick.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any shilling here. I just removed them. CC, you got the mic. If there's anything else that you found, or anyone else, if they got anything else they can add to the conversation.
Not really. Yeah, I appreciate if you guys could like just host for a little bit and moderate and just not allow the conversation to get like that. I just need to charge my phone because, like I said, I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, no worries. Bane, you got your hand up.
Yeah, I'm real sorry for anyone who still had money in Safemoon and may have lost more money today. But I just wanted to know why the LP wasn't being protected by the orbital shield.
Again, because the orbital shield was for password protection, wallet protection, wasn't meant for the contract itself. Okay, it wasn't meant for that. It was meant for
I'm just
login.
trolling, man. I'm trolling.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair though, I don't care what this is called, orbital shield, sun dive, I don't really care what it's called. Nothing is, I guess, 100%, secure at the end of the day. Things can definitely occur. So I mean, it's definitely super unfortunate. Truth, or as you or Stargaze, what was the current amount that's currently left in the LP? What is the amount?
Well, it's like $23,000, I think.
No,
Okay, that's definitely a lot of cash.
no, that's reading off PooCoin. That's
Okay.
reading. Yeah, don't read that. That's
Dex tools, preferably someone can grab that information. Definitely
right.
super helpful. I mean, at this point right now, what I can tell you guys is definitely don't be buying into the contract. I shouldn't have to say that for the sake of having a decent conversation as well as the one that's protective to all the listeners. Definitely do not buy any more Safemoon at this point in time until things get straightened out. If that's still your investment thesis.
It's $123 in there,
So
right?
buy or sell.
Yeah. Tech, what is going on?
Hey, Tech, I have a question for you. What do you think of John's claims that the LP was insured? And do you know any companies that actually insure the LP like that? Like he says it's insured?
You definitely can insure, monetary amounts. It's expensive. I don't even know how I got back up here. I was listening, and I guess my phone pressed the the speaker button.
Well, don't stop talking now, man. Come on.
No, I think we lost Tech.
Tech, did you get thrown off or something? I'm bringing up what's going on, Paul. I brought you up. Do you have any insightful feedback?
I don't have any insightful feedback. Sorry, I missed when you bring someone up, it gets quiet for like 10 seconds. I couldn't hear anything you said. But I kind of got here late, and I just saw like this space pop up. So I go on PooCoin, and I see the market cap is still 173 million. I don't see any LP. I see the price is still the same. So can you give me a recap? I saw Safemoon tweet. So I guess their LP is all gone. But why is the market?
I believe there's I was told that there was $85 left, $124 in the LP left. I think someone correct me if I'm wrong. John did make an announcement in the Discord as well as a tweet on Twitter, obviously. Past that, I'm not really sure what happened. I know that most of the dollars and the capital in the LP are for surely gone. We have encouraged people not to buy or sell anything for obvious reasons, or even transact anything on their wallet, because one thing, if you transact one thing in your wallet, something could completely go wrong.
Yeah.
So I would refrain from touching anything on the wallet. Period.
No, I don't. I don't buy or sell Safemoon. I haven't done that for a year and a half. Like I've been done with them. But my point is, I'm on PooCoin right now, and it says their buy tax 10%, sell tax 1%. Their market cap is still 173 million, but their LP on PooCoin on both their swap and Pancake Swap is below 23,000 and 13,000.
So with that coin market cap and those guys, they take a while to reflect the true.
Yeah,
you got to go look at all the liquidity pools because the centralized exchanges have their own liquidity pool.
True.
Right. But what's on the decks is what's on the decks. And with regard to, I keep asking about orbital shield or not, there's always the layer of a private key and
sure.
and a passphrase in some capacity. But like I said earlier, the biggest recklessness in this was having it all in one spot. Like you can do the same thing and have it distributed over 20, 30, 50 different wallets to, mitigate if you lost an arm, you still got the body, right? But as crazy as it sounds, I think, especially with the scrutiny that they got going on with the court system, I think he's gonna be pressured to put that money back from the tokens he sold, the LP he's taken out. So I don't think the Safemoon community should really be worried. He should be worried, especially if people start suing him for not handling this type of stuff properly. But I think you guys will be made whole with time.
It's like, to kind of simplify what you said, you shouldn't have any of your money, whether it's in crypto or whether it's in, I guess in real world in the banks, have all your money into one bank or on one wallet for obvious reasons. Like, obviously things like this definitely do occur. So at least if something was compromised, knock on wood for everyone here, at least it's all compromised. Tech said, at least the arm has just gone, not the entire body. Tech, did you hear Jess's question earlier that you had asked? I believe you had dropped off.
No, it broke off real quick. What was that question, Jess?
It was about the insurance, how like
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't think any insurance is gonna like insure that 100%. It'll probably be
No,
minimal.
it all It depends on what they paid for. They will pay 100% if you're going to pay 100% premium, right? And I don't even believe that was on I think if you go to Gnosis, they offer insurance like that, but you have to be multi-sig. This was under a contract, and who knows if the owner of the contract was a multi-sig or not. But yeah, this type of stuff happens.
Exactly. No, and that's why I was saying too, like in terms of them having the LP basically 100% unlocked and not having any kind of multi-sig security, like Tech said. I don't know. Like he said though, Coroni's definitely got the money to put back though. So hopefully he does it and makes things right.
Was there a transaction that showed someone compromised it and took what 9 million out of it or something?
It's
did you guys
posted
find
to
that?
the top. I think Fonzie had posted
Okay.
it. Anyway, I got to jump off of here, guys, man. Good luck to anybody that is down on it right now, though. I hope you guys get your money back.
Appreciate it, Zargis. Thanks for stopping by.
Listen, any decent insurance company, if this even exists, is going to argue negligence because these motherfuckers don't even have it in a multi-sig. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no insurance company is going to give them money.
Yeah,
Not disagreeing with you.
It's definitely tough to insure that much money too. Like that was a lot of capital that was not there anymore. That's definitely a lot. I'm not sure moving forward what people should do. This is super unfortunate. There wasn't any signs of this as well. It just kind of happened out of the blue, and that's usually how these things do transpire.
Wait, Andrew, there was signs. There was just that article that was floating around, 3 days ago, coincidentally, or 2 days ago, that confirmed that they supposedly, quote unquote, stole $100 million from the liquidity.
Just I'm gonna be honest, I hadn't read that, but now that you mentioned that definitely changes my thesis and what transpired. Jess, do you know who distributed that article out? Was it someone?
Yeah, that was TNG. One thing I was going to say is you might be able to transfer your tokens to an exchange that has high liquidity and sell there if you're somebody who's like, that's it, I'm out. I had a couple people reach out to me and talk about that. I don't know how well that would work, but that's just something to consider if you're freaking out right now.
Well, John can't LARP as a CEO anymore unless he puts his fucking money back, so there's no company anyways. So I gotta imagine that they're gonna try to put the money back, or else what else are they gonna do? Just ride off into the sunset?
The question people don't want to hear, or the answer people don't want to hear that question is it's yes. That's kind of possible. We've seen it happen multiple times. Do Kwon just got arrested the other day after I think it was probably 6, 7, 10 months of on the run. So this stuff definitely does occur. And there is that favorite, there is that quote unquote funny, not so much funny saying in the entirety of the space, the industry, that your favorite founder has probably rugged about 10 projects before the one he's doing right now, which is unfortunately a common theme. So that the answer to that question is unfortunately yes. We have Leo that joined us on stage. Leo, welcome.
Thank
I
you.
do like your ute. Hopefully you had that bridge that was successful this morning.
I did. I did. The only thing I'm mad at is that Frank didn't give me. It was .07 to gas, and I'm not paying it to stake. I got .05, so he owed me .02 of Polygon, so I can finish the staking. But I wanted to come up here and damn, that's terrible what I'm hearing. But you know, as much as we love making fun and you know with Safemoon, you know, but it's terrible because they had such a fucking great community. Like this, I don't think there's a bigger Safemoon community. Period. And they were there. They believed in it. But if this is it, I think it's just BS, man. That was just fucked up. But you know, we've been seeing it, but they just kept making you believe in this shit, and man, that sucks for everybody involved.
Is there anybody on the panel right now that's kind of looking on chain to see where these funds currently are? Are they just kind of stuck somewhere? Are they actively being deployed outward? What's kind of the transactions right now? I know Fonzie actually did tweet. It's been a while from Fonzie, but he did tweet. Um, the funds to me look like they're just kind of sitting in one wallet, wrapped BNB. So we'll definitely see where that goes. But if anyone has any updates, please just chime in terms of where the funds have gone.
Well, I did want to just say that John Caroni did tweet. I put it to the top. Somebody, I think it was Whisper, that sent it to me.
Yeah, I think a while back, you know, I think Whisper, Vixen, we all kind of looked. There was a few tweets I think that went out, and we were kind of looking at all these wallets like making movements, but then you get the end saying to stop flooding it, and it just sucked because this shit should have stopped a long time ago. If they're gonna rug, man, they just kept fucking sucking people in. That's the BS part about this whole shit.
So who the fuck would have access to the LP?
Man, I don't know.
I would assume just those that have access to the dev wallet, or they weren't using multi-sig, but whoever had access to that. So how many people that were? It's probably just interior team. I mean, unless there was a falling out that happened internally, and that's kind of one of the reasons what kind of I guess incentivize someone to do something like this. So I mean, John is currently in a lawsuit with I think his uncle and I think his mom or something. So I mean, I can definitely see an ex-employee doing something of the sort. I mean, and we've seen that before, so I don't take it out of the the realm of what possibly could have happened or what did happen or what is currently happening.
Yeah, what they were doing, they were just blocking everybody left and right. There was a negative feed or anything like that. Like I was blocked months ago when I posted something, I guess, and even their own community members that were loyal and had spaces every damn day and were there for Safemoon if you ever had a question, and they would just, as soon as they said something and asked a question, boom, they were kicked off the stage or they would block themselves, which is bullshit.
Jess did just post a tweet up top that was from John Caroni commenting on the Safemoon tweet, and it reads, "Our community safety remains my top priority, and I will continue to keep you updated on any further developments." So that's kind of out of John Caroni. He also did put a post in the Discord. I am not in that Discord, but it's similar to it's something very similar to what he did tweet out. I mean, to be fair though, to John and the team, I guess there's nothing that they could really say right now that would make the situation better or go away.
Hashtag
I would
scamming.
assume. Yeah, I mean, you could probably tweet that out. I'm not sure how well that would do from a community standpoint, but you could definitely tweet that out, though.
Hashtag final rug.
Yeah, that could go out as well. Once again, not sure how well that would do from a community standpoint, but you could definitely tweet that out.
Yeah, I can't really say that.
Yeah, no, definitely wouldn't go well in court of law either. That's definitely, No,
Man, if the guy's suing his mom, he's gonna come after you. So no, yeah, you don't want to tweet that.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be wise. CC, you unmuted your mic. You got some intel?
Oh no, I just forgot I did. I am reading some stuff. I was looking up on like what people were saying about what was being insured, trying to find some information on that. I found a comment just now that said, "What is insured is the LP wallet, the Safemoon company wallet." But I can't. I'm just kind of researching right now. Another thing I was trying to bring up is I see people saying like, "Oh, they put it back," and it's I don't see that personally, but I think that if this was gone, and this is kind of Generation Crypto is messaging me off and on, And he said that his gut tells him there's no insurance. If there is, my gut tells me little to none of this will be claimable. I think this is GG unless they can get the law involved to track this down. But John doesn't want them looking around, so I doubt he will turn to them. It's not out of the question that John has had enough, and this is his excuse to walk away. And I think that's kind of a realistic take on this. I'm not. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I can say, just we've seen other rugs happen in bigger protocols, and there's never been any mention of, oh, we're covered by insurance. And again, maybe I'm wrong, but just to think that John Caroni and his team took the extra step to do that, I'm not buying that shit. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're right. This is the first time I heard something like that in crypto as far as insurance goes. Because uh, is there such a thing? I mean, I didn't think there was.
No, probably not. Realistically, probably not. Truth, did you also state earlier that the cell tax went to zero, or was that you, or was that one of the other speakers we had earlier on that jumped off?
Yeah, the sell tax went to zero. It's back to 5 now. That's on
See,
Pool.
to me, that's very, very strange. The fact that it went from what it was, I think it was like 5 or 10, whatever the number was, to zero, back to the number that would have went to after the sell. Very strange metric there.
No, it's not. With PoolCoin, they react toward they react toward the contract itself. So when it's zeroed down, I'm assuming when it's zeroed down or had that big sale, they react to that. I've seen them do that before, where the sales tax drop to zero or it'll go up to 16, but your actual contract still remains the same. But PooCoin just acts a fool.
And truth, who has the ability to change the cell tax?
Well, the taxes changed in the contract. That would be somebody inside changing the taxes,
Okay.
but the tax is not changed in the contract. On PooCoin, PooCoin has the ability to up and down the taxes on it, and they have been glitching the last couple of days. That I know because I called another contract project basically that had a problem where their tax went all the way up to 19%. But in their contract, it was still set at 10. So it was PooCoin that was jiggling around with the taxes.
Okay. Thank you for that. We have Snowflake. That's a nice mutant ape you got there.
Thanks, guys. A little bit coming down with the weather, but okay. So, couple of things I wanted to know. Like, do you know where they're registered as a company? Second of all, like, I want to say, there's so much safety promises and security, and at the end of the day, if we don't do like a deep research for the founders, for investors of the token, we might really maybe not doing a good job. Yeah, and being blocked, more than one person by that company, seriously, it's not a transparency.
So you know what, with the LLC, I don't know if I remember Andrew or Jess. I know to open up that building, didn't they buy a building somewhere in the Midwest? Like you have to have an LLC to open up a business in the States, isn't it? I mean, so something's
One
they
of
have to have
them,
something.
yeah, you have to have something, but my question is where the insurance lay at.
John had like
I don't
20
buy the insurance
LLCs.
thing. Are they based at, is their LLC out of Wyoming? Is that where it
I
is?
think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, that's no
It,
bueno.
it's still like
They,
liable, even if it's LLC. It's just not liable with private property. That's the only difference.
right, it's based out of Utah, and they do have an LLC.
Well, they're still liable, just not with the private property. That's the only difference that LLC covers. There is no like
That's
other
right.
difference.
Right. It's a limited liability corporation. So basically, whatever happens inside of the corporation, that's it. But you can actually still sue personally.
Oh, you could. I didn't know that. I thought they with the LLC, as long as you're in it as a CEO or CO or something like that, that they can't really come after you after you file for
No,
like a
they're fully
bankruptcy.
liable, even if they file for
No, no.
bankruptcy.
They're liable because they are listed as the entities on there. So it would be the CEO, the vice president, or whatever. Whoever's listed on there is also part of that.
Damn.
I brought Yoda to the stage. Yoda, what is going on?
What's going on? Everybody's trying to look at the liquidity pairing, but I just noticed on Dex.Guru, if you look, somehow somebody created other liquidity pairings, and what they did, Safemoon's price right now is showing $25 a token, and what they did is swap it. If you look at the $5 million sale, they swapped just so many SafeMoon tokens for a few Immortal tokens and got 5 million, and then they did the 3 million. So what's I don't know how they made that liquidity pairing, but that's what they're doing. They like paired it with other tokens. There's a jump something token.
What?
If you look on Dex.Guru and run the address, you'll see the transactions. The 5.6 million one, they swapped 101,000 SafeMoon for 634,000 Immortal tokens and got 5,600,000. But the price on Dex.Guru is showing $25 a token for SafeMoon.
So if you
however
go
they
to that page, you actually can see stuff on it. What's going on?
Yeah, but my problem is Dex.Guru used to be able, when you clicked on that activity, it would show you the actual BSC scan, but now it doesn't. So I'm trying to figure out how they made those pairings and where they did it at, because somehow they screwed up the liquidity pricing and ran the token up to $25 and then dumped on it with the other tokens. They're like swapping it for a cheaper token. But the one they got 5.6 million, they swapped for Immortal token. The one they got 2.2 million, they swapped it for Dump J token, and the $3 million one was for Immortal
Question
token.
is their own platform or is a token officially registered with an exchange right now?
I know Immortal was one of their safe swap partners, and they were on PancakeSwap. But see, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I can't find those transactions where they created those liquidity pairings, because you could obviously see that they swapped 101 SafeMoon for 634,000 Immortal, and that's what gave them 5.6 million out of the liquidity.
Wow.
Tech just sent me a text message who's currently listening. He just let me know that they have an LLC in Utah, Wyoming, and one in the UK. Just to confirm, they do have 3 LLCs. Not sure why you'd want one in the UK, but they have one in the UK.
They all know
It
that
should
Ronin
be.
shit too.
Sorry, I wanted to answer the other question. It should be available on the BSC scan. Like not Ethereum scan, but the other blockchain.
Right, but it's not on BSC scans. What I'm saying, they use
That's weird.
some platform to create that liquidity pairing, because they were able to swap. It might have been SafeMoon Swap, and I can't see those transactions either. But it's right there on. Just go to Dex.Guru, which is the first one. SafeMoon used to push that. Go to Dex.Guru and run the contract address, and you'll see those transactions. They're swapping out for other tokens, and it ran the price up to $25.04 per SafeMoon token. That's why they paused the contract.
If anybody, oh, I can't hear Andrew. Can I? Are you talking, Andrew?
Nope, you got the mic.
Oh, okay, yeah. If anybody wants to come up and say anything, whether it's just your experience, I saw a post by OG Crypto Wizard saying he saw a bunch of people selling on the Safemoon swap and they were getting wrecked. So maybe just avoid making any rash decisions right now. Although some people, I know it's hard because you at least try to do a bunch of research and see where everybody else is messing up. If you're trying to get out, like maybe move it onto a centralized exchange or something. So yeah, if anybody wants to come up and bring any kind of information, really just to help the people that are dealing with this. I'll be honest with you guys. I bought multiple times, but I had less than $1,000 in SafeMoon by the time the price had gone down so much. So for me, it's not a huge loss, but it's still like money that I hadn't sold yet, which I know that probably shock a lot of people. It was more so out of like laziness. Although I'll be honest with you guys, probably within the last week, I finally was like, I'm actually just done with SafeMoon. Like, I'm just gonna sell, and like maybe I'll let the people on YouTube know, like, hey guys, I'm actually like really done with SafeMoon. And I didn't do that, but it's not a huge loss for me. Like, but I know some of you guys have thousands, or you put a lot in, and this is like the end of the birthday month, which like last year, the end of the birthday month was just a major disappointment, you know? Like we thought we were something massive was going to happen, and we just got like a video leaking the exchange that still, you know, hasn't come out. And so for the month, which I actually forgot the birthday month was even going on because I just don't pay attention to SafeMoon anymore unless something major happens. That this is like the birthday present is what it feels like.
You know what they should have done? Just given the community control of this whole damn thing from the beginning. A while back when that shit happened with Bitburn, I kept tossing money and testing, and I couldn't even DCA when the shit was down, and it was just like a flat tire. Just every time you put money, just down and down. I just never understood the whole concept, and that's when I was like, you know what, I'm out. I can't figure this shit out. You know, you figure, you know, something like that happens, and you buy low, and it's still. I mean, I just don't understand this whole damn contract.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the contract. I think there's wrong with, in my personal opinion, that, you know, they were stealing money from the LP. And, you know, for that reason, like, I know this is going to sound harsh, but I hope Safemoon doesn't make a comeback, because I don't want to see a new wave of people get burned, because I don't think they're going to do anything better. I don't think they're going to change. And John Caroni's not going to do good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they need to kick. The community needs to do like an overall vote if they let them kick all these fucking people out and just start from scratch if they're gonna keep it up. You know what I mean? I don't even know how that works. I don't even know. I don't even know if that's even possible. I don't know.
You can actually report, you know, any suspicious activity to Apple and Google Play because they have their app on it. And if they don't remove it, don't do nothing about it, or don't like research it, you can actually sue Apple for your losses. Like there is a possibility. I'm not saying 100%, but it's just a play. I know there is some of the apps that end up being like scammers approved on Apple, you know, application platform as well as Google, and when they didn't remove it on time, those like Apple actually got sued. I know that for sure. There was a lawsuit.
I just want to point out as well, guys. Do you remember that fiasco with Gala a few months ago? A bunch of people were shifting their Gala around, selling it on different exchanges, and I know Hotbit turned around, went and banned a bunch of users' accounts. So maybe be careful telling people to shift to certain exchanges because they may lose their whole account over it, right?
So that's a great point, and I've said this before. I wouldn't personally interact within your wallets right now that have SafeMoon, for the fact that we've seen this before, where someone will send you a currency, a crypto of some type, or even send you a NFT of some type. You interact with it, even if you sell or transfer it, your entire wallet gets sucked. So I mean, I wouldn't personally interact with anything in your wallets if you had SafeMoon. Very good point. Definitely, you know, put that out moving forward.
So I just found something, and I just retweeted it. So if somebody wants to pull it up and look at it, it's somebody named Cater Calls, and they said this is the wallet of the SafeMoon LP hacker, and they post the address, and they said it is a contract that has been exploiting other tokens LP and rugging them. And then he said maybe it wasn't a rug. So I don't know. I shared that. If somebody wants to look into that, and maybe see if you can find something.
I just pinned it to the top, CC. That's great. Anyone who wants to take a look at that, definitely take a look at that. Pinned it up to the top. Lord, welcome. Great to have another developer up on stage.
Hey guys, how's it
Oh,
going?
thank God. Hey, my lord.
Yeah,
we need somebody like you here.
yeah, no, I figured I'd join this one. Actually, Mark and basically the DAP team did a little bit of an investigation. So Mark is actually in another space talking about the exploit. I decided to join this one so that I can also provide insight as to what happened. It is an exploit. It's not a rug pull or anything like that. Basically, all the SafeMoon, and by the way, this is a huge warning in regards to proxy contracts. What happened was that 8 hours ago, the developer who was working on the SafeMoon code or something pushed a new version of the SafeMoon contract. And, you know, the holders don't need to do anything because it's a proxy contract, but the new code basically had a bug in it, and the bug was contained within the burn function. So basically, this burn function allowed users to burn tokens from any address. And so what the hacker did effectively is they took advantage of that burn function and made it in such a way that it artificially inflated the price of SafeMoon very, very high on the SafeMoon WBNP pair on their LP. Then the attacker simply sold and took about 27,000 BNB. That went to the contract, and then he moved it from that from the one that he wrote, the exploiter contract, over to his wallet, and it's actually still sitting there.
Milord, I actually want to mention something. If they don't actually safe proof the contract, or they did some investigation before actually publishing it, maybe they knew about this, and maybe one of those hackers is their friend, because that happened before. So I wouldn't take away, oh, they just got hacked. No, they didn't. They made, this contract like this, or they didn't vet it, or they were together with this hacker. And the second thing is they're blocking people left and right instead of going transparent. That's another issue. And on the top of this, they start contacting Safeguard or something. They start posting, oh, they just hacked. How many times Safeguard posted something in Discord or in public saying, oh, somebody get hacked, but actually they didn't? How many times that happened? More than once.
Sure, and that saying that type of stuff, it's possible, but I'm strictly approaching it from this is what happened. So just strictly factual, no speculation. And the reason why is because actually we, in talking about the Surge team, have been accused for the exact same thing when in fact it was an exploit. So I don't want to go ahead and turn it around and do the same thing in that type of thing, or in that type of case. It could be internal, it could be an inside type of job, but just from strictly where the facts lie, the Safemoon token was exploited, and this was the methodology of how it was exploited.
Usually, you can burn token from anywhere. Like if you have this token.
Can you get Mark up here?
Let me ask you a question. When you do make a contract, aren't these things don't they test them before they even push them? I mean, that's just crazy. You can't just make a contract. Hey, let me just throw it in here.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely should, and any contract that goes to the blockchain really should be tested and verified, and valid or not validated, audited and that type of stuff. But this is one of the dangers of proxy contracts, is because the one that is sitting in front is think of it like a storefront, and behind the scenes they can go and swap in and out. It makes it mutable, which is actually subverts the whole purpose of blockchain. Blockchain is supposed to be immutable. So when posting a contract to it, if it's audited and then posted in a fashion that it's just deployed to the blockchain, not sitting behind a proxy, then you can basically have that assurance that, okay, yes, this is the code, it was tested, it works, it's deployed, it will not change. And this is one of the things that unfortunately became a problem.
What's up, guys?
We got
welcome,
DeFi Mark, and
welcome,
we got Hank up here as well. Yeah, welcome, guys. What's going on, Mark?
Not much.
I think Mark
I just
was
heard the
first.
drama. I was just in another space kind of going over it. I was just in a room with Milord when he told me about it, and I looked into it. So I assume he went over the details. But yeah, it's a similar hack that's happened several times in the space. They had a function that let you take tokens from any address without approval. It was called burn, but it didn't actually burn the tokens. It just sent it to the Safemoon deployer. But you were able to specify where those tokens come from. So if I wanted to, I could go in and take tokens from all the top 20 holders if I wanted to, and just send them all to the deployer.
Mark, can I ask you why didn't you do this? No,
I don't watch Safemoon's contract anymore.
No, but I'm
in general,
shouldn't this have come up in an audit or
definitely.
something? If it's such a easily,
this is horrible practice. Horrible. Yeah, you're able to specify the from. So what you do is you buy some Safemoon. You then burn tokens from the LP. So now the price of Safemoon is much higher when you call the sync function. You then sell the tokens you just bought into that LP, and you get a much better rate. So if I bought $10 worth of tokens and I burn a large number of tokens from the LP, I can sell those $10 and get 8.8 million from them, because the price of the token's 100,000x higher. because now there's less
Mark, does
tokens in the
that
LP, but the same amount of BNB. And if you write a special
does
contract,
that
you can
mean
do it all
that
in one transaction, and that's how this
does that mean
happened.
that somebody? Oh, okay, that's what I was about to ask because I was like, does that mean that somebody could have sold like $10 before him and like got it
No, no,
first?
that's why
But
you do it in a smart contract, so it all happens sequentially. So yeah, I can't get front run or anything. It's an extremely obvious exploit. It's happened hundreds of times. I don't understand why that was there, or who wrote it, but I know that they got a
Hank, well,
lot.
we
I know
got
they got a
Hank
lot of
here.
money
You
set
know,
aside. I mean, as I thought they did. I haven't followed in forever, but unless they spent it all, they probably still have millions set aside. So since it's a proxy, they can easily just go in, fix whatever incorrect amounts of Safemoon are in whichever wallet,
Let me ask you a
yeah.
and then
question.
pair more
Mark, so
liquidity
Mark,
and
this
remove
is so
that burn
Mark
function, and they'll be fine.
Mark, to clarify, so this is very bad practice then, and is the onus on the SafeMoon team for allowing this to happen, or
Whoever, I
whose
mean,
fault
that's
is it?
just it's.
Guys,
There's no
we've
reason that
got
function
Hank
should
up
ever
here.
exist in any contract ever. There's no use for it.
Could I ask you a question, Mark?
So
Yeah, what's up?
real quickly, hold on a
Yeah,
second,
sorry.
guys. I'd like to hear from Hank. Hank used to be on the team, and he might be able to speak to this specifically. It would be great to hear you clarify, Hank, on the LP and how much it was insured for, because like you were there for that part.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, and I have no idea about anything about insurance that didn't exist when I was there. So, the only part I was going to comment on is if you're staking LP, remove it from anywhere that you have it because they are still exploiting the burn function, especially from exchanges right now. There is active hacking still occurring using that function. SafeMoon's deployer is currently blacklisting addresses, but the root of the issue is still being exploited at the moment. So if you're staking any assets, get it out as fast as humanly possible.
Honestly,
It sucks for whoever's being affected. I'm sorry if you were affected. I hope you get it figured out, and I hope they make everybody whole. That's all I'm going to comment on. But
Hey,
if you're
Hank, can
staking
you
assets, get them
make a post real quick saying that so we can share that to the top so that we can people who might have missed you saying that who are tuning in I can put that on the screen for them so that they can make that change if they need to.
But if you unstake, isn't that transacting with the actual contract? Isn't that bad as well?
no, that's
I don't
fine.
know.
But in general, what they should do is probably blacklist the SafeMoon deployer because that's where all the tokens are going when you call the burn function. That would probably stop people from being able to call it, unless it's not. It doesn't check unless the blacklisted address can receive tokens, but I would assume they can't. Yeah, so you could go in right now
So
and you could burn the top 100 holders if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
yeah, the SafeMoon deployer actually blacklisted both the SafeMoon swaps LP
Well, that's going to
of
stop people from doing
SafeMoon
the
BNB.
exploit, but it's not going to stop people from burning random addresses. So if they wanted to stop people from
Yeah.
burning random addresses, they should blacklist themselves so they can't receive more tokens. Because when you call that function, it transfers it directly to the SafeMoon deployer. It doesn't actually burn the tokens.
Is that contract and is it still hacked? So people that are purchasing right now, it's definitely not
Well,
guaranteed to do
it's not
so,
like a
right?
contract
It
isn't
still
like
exists.
hacked or unhacked. It's the vulnerable code is still there. All they need to do is
Okay.
launch a new contract and just delete that one function that I posted in my tweet that's pinned, and it'll be fine.
Mark, so the obvious question here. So what happened to the capital that's no longer in that contract that got moved out? Is
Oh
it
yeah, it's
gone?
gone. The guy's trying to bridge it over to different blockchains right now before Binance stops him.
What about
Yeah,
the
I
claims
think
that
he's
they're
bridging the
making
Polygon
about
right
the
now.
insurance? There's rumors around that they're quote unquote insured. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I've never heard of that. If it's insured, then I mean that's kind of dumb.
Grony said
Who would
only.
insure a proxy contract? That seems like a great way to do some insurance fraud. It's our contract's
In the
solid. Oh, we
Discord,
changed it. It got
Grony
hacked.
answered that question and he said only the company and the treasury wallets were insured.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I
Well,
don't know who in their right mind would ever insure a proxy contract because I could change it to have an exploit if I wanted to claim some insurance money.
I wanted to ask you real quick, Mark, what else? On the Dex.Guru and look at those transactions for I think it was 5 million and then 3 million. They're swapping them for other tokens to do that. Like after they ran the price up and then the 5 million one they swapped it for Immortal token and got the $5 million. So how are they doing that with a different liquidity pair?
Oh well, if it's through a smart contract, you can swap for whatever you want, all in one transaction. Or even through a router, you can swap for as many different tokens as you want to. That's nothing out of the ordinary.
All right, that's what I was just wondering because it didn't show the BNB, it just showed the other token. So that's what I was wondering.
No, yeah. Makes sense. Maybe they wanted to move some of the profit into that, but I assume what the attackers are going to do is just move everything off chain over to like Matic and Ethereum, and AVAX, all the other ones that aren't as central. Because BSC is super centralized, so Safemoon could contact BSC and they could track down those funds and revert it, take it from that address, which isn't good, but it's one of the things that BSC allows you to do because it's very centralized. So that's why the attacker's probably fleeing over to Ethereum as fast as he can.
Mark, this term was used earlier in the space multiple times, quote unquote orbital shield, claiming or professing potentially, protect against these types of incidents. Is that even possible?
No, if there's an exploit in a contract, there's no third party application that could ever prevent it. That doesn't make any sense.
Are you telling me hashtag orbital shield was a lie this whole time?
Honestly, I have no idea what orbital shield is. I stopped paying attention well before then.
Yeah, orbital shield was just supposed to be like a password security thing for the wallet. It had nothing to do with the LP.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You can't make a third party that prevents a contract from being hacked. That's impossible.
It's just the orbital shield.
Yeah, so I had no idea, full transparency, what orbital shield was until like 30 minutes ago, which is fantastic. Learn something every day.
It was Safemoon's Web 2 version of a Web 3 login.
Now, what should people do moving forward with the money that they may or may not have lost? Like, what's kind of the best case scenario for them?
I honestly don't know. Don't invest in proxy contracts unless there are some protections in place. Like some proxies have you have like a time delay before it goes through, so the community is actually able to look at the new implementation being pushed for like a week or two before it's submitted and added. Those I kind of like because if someone could have caught this 2 weeks in advance and not pushed it through. Had that happened, being able to just swap out functionality at will. I mean, it's fine in some cases if it's a team that is competent, but in some cases something like this could happen.
Mark, for the ones that are not very well versed in the blockchain space, Malord, you too, you guys can elaborate on this. Is there any way to find out what contracts are proxy contracts and which ones are not? Is it specified as something that we can, people that are not really native to development work and on-chain stuff can find, or it's something that you guys, someone has to dig through?
It's still not simple, but there's an easy way to check, kind of. So if you go to your favorite token on like BSC Scan and you click on the contract button on BSC Scan, if you go to the token address itself, there's going to be two options: read as proxy and write as proxy if it's a proxy contract. If those don't exist, it still could be a proxy contract, so it's not like foolproof, but I don't know of a simpler method for detecting it if you don't know how to read code. But that is one that I've seen at least 99% of the time it shows those options if it is a proxy that has an implementation address.
Yeah, education is definitely the be-all, end-all in this space moving forward, especially with things of that nature being exploited. OX, you have your hand up. What's going on?
Yeah, I seen I don't know, it was either Mark or Hank said that they're bridging. I see their wallet has 8.5 million. They haven't done a transaction in over an hour. Where do you see that they're bridging? I
didn't say that they are. I said if they were smart, they would be, because otherwise, Safemoon's probably already talking to Binance about reverting it. And Binance has done this before for large projects that get hacked. They've actually been able to steal funds from the attacker's wallet because it's a very centralized chain.
Right.
Hopefully,
be running to Ethereum.
Hopefully that guy's not in here listening. He's like, oh shit, that's a good idea.
No, I mean, if he's smart enough to do that, he'd probably be smart enough to move to Ethereum as fast as possible, because you can't do that on chains like Ethereum or Matic, because those aren't nearly as centralized as Binance.
Mark, are you saying if they act, one second, I'm sorry. Are you saying if they act quick enough that Binance could get those funds back?
Yes, but it does take time, and they have to basically, kind of like when the bridge hack happened, and they had shut down BSC for like a day. They got all the validators together and reverted to a previous state. They'd have to do something like that, which I don't know if they would do.
They're not going to do that for
probably
Safemoon.
not, but they have done it. They have done it in the past.
Wait, let me go. Just to clarify,
Polygon is way more centralized than Binance if you're talking about validator specific nodes. But I do have a question for you. So let's say the money never shows back up. How do you see Safemoon recovering from this? Like, is there a way forward?
Well, they have millions of dollars set aside, I assume. At least last I checked, they had like 10 million plus in their treasury. They just add that into liquidity. They launch a new proxy that deletes the balances, kind of reverts to the old state. So they change everyone's balances to as it was before the exploit happened, and then they re-add liquidity with a new implementation contract that doesn't have that burn function in it.
So they could fix this, is
Yeah,
what you're
absolutely.
saying. Like, no matter what, they can fix this. Unless they just like,
unless they
fuck you
spent
guys,
all
we're
their
keeping
money.
the
I don't know how much money they still have in reserves, but if they have anywhere near 8 million, yeah, they can definitely fix it. It wouldn't be that hard
No,
either.
with the
But
So they
inflation
would
and
need to
everything.
voluntarily deposit $8 million into the liquidity
it was
pool.
like 8.9 or something. Yeah. And they don't even have to remove the burn function. Just delete the from parameter that's there and make it message.sender instead. So you can burn your own tokens, but you can't burn someone else's.
I still don't get how this didn't get caught in like an audit or something.
They didn't
Like, didn't
audit
they
it.
do an
That's probably
audit?
why.
Like, they didn't audit it?
Gonna step down, guys. Thanks for
Well, all
having
I'm
me up.
saying is, if they got it audited by any reputable auditor, they would have caught this. It took me 2 minutes to find it.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the investors' money that they're probably not going to get back. To me, I mean, Safemoon could deploy the contract and fix what Mark said literally tomorrow, next week, whenever it is. But I'm more concerned about the investors that are not going to get their money
They'll
back.
probably get their money back. I mean, if they have millions of dollars set aside, they can very easily, change the state back to how it was and re-add liquidity, and then it's no real difference to the end user. They just have 9 million less dollars to play around with.
Well, there is that, but there's also a bunch of people that like sold and like lost that didn't get their money.
Yeah, that's why I was saying they should
just
revert
screwed.
the state to where it was right before the hack occurred, because everyone that sold probably got pennies. So, yeah, it makes sense.
So I don't know if we clarified this. I found John's tweet of him saying we are not insuring people's wallets, only the company's wallets in the treasury. LP is a function of the treasury. I don't really know what he means by LP is a function of the treasury or where that. Okay, it just doesn't make sense. Okay.
And I don't think they insure more than it's not millions. I think on anything unless things change. Isn't it like 250 max? I mean, I don't
know who would ever insure anything in DeFi. But yeah, I wouldn't imagine so. And yeah, it especially makes no sense to insure a proxy contract, as I said before, because that's just dumb.
CC, where did John specify that the investors won't, obviously get their capital back? Where was that tweeted out?
That they won't? Oh, it's an old tweet saying that wallets aren't insured. I shared it if you want to pin it.
Yeah, okay. Let me pin that for sure. That's definitely something of importance.
Yeah, really, I think the best thing about this space right now is if there's information that can help people not lose money, like what Mark was just talking about. Like Mark and my Lord, thanks for joining, guys, because like that was the clarification that people needed to know what actually happened and so whether they need to sell or wait or whatever. So it seems like, based on what you said, like the best decision is to try to wait. Somebody said something earlier, and maybe you guys can clear this up too, about trying to like move your statement to an exchange and sell it there.
Yeah, but they also said it can, if it's, I don't know, if it's exploited, I mean, it'll drain your whole damn account. I think somebody had mentioned.
Well, Leo, it's definitely possible that if there's something wrong, sometimes people will send you an item that's usually hacked, or whether it be a token, whether it be an NFT, and if you would interact with it in any kind of way, the entire wallet gets drained.
No, that's not. That's not possible.
Well, I thought if it was on a SEX that they don't have control of what's on the SEX, do they, or do they?
No, but in general, that's not possible. You can't drain someone's wallet from interacting with an asset.
Just to clarify real quick, moving to an exchange does not solve your issue. The only thing that I would do in terms of touching anything, I mean, there's no liquidity pools out there that you're going to be able to sell into. If you are staking liquidity, remove it. That is the only suggestion I would give toward that. If by some miracle they have not hit the liquidity pool that you are staking into, then you can get your reserve asset back or your liquid asset back. But From anything that I've been able to find, most of the liquidity pools out there, if not all of them, have already been exploited, including the exchanges. So,
Yeah, I would just sit tight and
yeah.
wait. Ideally, they roll it back to an older version. They just go through the transfer myths and rebuild the holders list as it was before the exploit and make everyone whole again. So I would honestly just sit tight. If you just have Safemoon tokens by themselves sitting in your wallet, hey, follow Hank's advice and unstake if you have it in LPs. But I would just sit tight because there's really nothing you can do to mitigate anything right now. You just got to hope that they come through and do their due diligence.
Wasn't this what was that Bitburn? Not Bitburn. What's that exchange that got hacked with SafeMoon a while back?
Bitmart, I think.
Bitmart. Was that it? And wasn't that a similar issue?
No, not really. That was one of their hot wallets getting their private key getting leaked. That had nothing to do with a smart contract.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah, that had nothing to do with a smart contract. That was just the private keys to a wallet that held.
It sounds like the perfect setup every few months to say, "Oops, this happened. Let's start over. Let's do it again." But no, I just wanted to remind you guys, whoever said the hacking is ongoing and currently live, I don't know who said that, but I would do what's best for you and not listen to anybody telling you not to sell or to sell. Assess the situation and do what's best for you, so that
you're
you
not going
don't
to make
end up
anything if you sell.
resentful towards someone else. Oh, so and so told me it's probably best to do this or that. Make your own decision.
Yeah, definitely. If you sell, though, you're going to get pennies, so it's probably not worth it. I would just say, the only way that this gets resolved is if they roll everything back to right before the exploit, take that burn function out of the implementation contract, and re-add liquidity.
But how many times does that actually happen in this ecosystem?
Well, hopefully they do it, considering it was millions of dollars. They have enough money to replenish it, and they have hundreds of thousands of holders. So ideally, if that doesn't happen, then Safemoon's dead.
Yeah, how do you know they have all this money?
Well, they did last time I saw it.
Here's the thing. If this was my company and I had that much money and I knew I was going to make my investors whole and I didn't want my fucking token to die, I would be saying, guys, guess what? It's going to be okay because I have this money. Why would you withhold that information and let shit die in the meantime?
True. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but if you look at the deployer wallet, someone's trying to burn like everybody's tokens right now.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured was going to happen because you could literally go through right now, call that burn function, take out the top 100 list if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, they just burnt the Whitebit tokens, LBank, Hotbit, Mexi.
Yep.
Damn.
Yep, that'll happen.
Wow.
And then the market makers can't fill the orders, and they can wipe out all the reserves on the exchanges too.
Yep.
So who's doing it? The person who exploited the contract, or just other people are doing this?
Probably a mix of both. Because anyone can do it. Anyone can go in right now and click.
It's a free for all.
Yeah, anyone can go in right now and call that burn function. I don't know why they haven't changed the implementation yet. They really need to just stop all this madness. Instead of blacklisting people, just swap out the implementation for a new one that doesn't have that burn function in there. And then no one would be able to do this while they remedy the situation.
Wow. Why do you think they haven't done that?
Incompetence.
Like, what would
Exactly. Let's think about it, people. Come on. Hopium is very high dose hopium right now.
It's just weird that all this shit is happening after the Feds finally did their last rate hike. Inflation is at its all-time high, and BNB is just up there in price.
Getting sued.
They
said.
How do I do this? I'm gonna try it.
Just call the burn function. The function's called burn. And just enter in an address. But I wouldn't recommend it. It's probably going to be criminally...
I was about to say, Mark, I would advise people not to do that. They will likely get a knock at their front door if they decide to do that.
It's recorded. I was just, reminding you guys.
Yeah, definitely not a good idea. It's probably going to be investigated at some degree, so...
You know what's funny? Everybody say, like, when something happens, oh, we hacked, they hacked, but, like, it's not a hack. There is so much different word definition. Like, if you build a contract where you can just take things and,
it's like you said,
take
here's
them,
the
it's not
open
a hack.
door. for a robber.
Yeah.
Like, here's the open door. Either you're gonna
It's
walk
not a
in or you're
hack.
not. Exactly.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck? Don't name it the hack. Like, I hate when those like people tell it, or those Twitter,
It's not like they were over there trying. Yeah,
accounts.
exactly.
And like saying, oh, it's hacked. Like, no, it's not.
Yeah, better term
Manager
is
literally gave
exploited.
his seed phrase.
Yeah, active, and I think
Better term is
I think
exploited.
before you came up, somebody just I think DeFi
It's not even exploited if they give somebody their password,
Well,
seed
no,
phrase.
it's an exploit.
Like, come on.
It wasn't a seed phrase.
They build the contract without, you
Invitation,
don't need
you know, a limited
exploit.
time
It's
offer.
like
Well,
they build a contract that is free for everybody to use.
yeah, no, it's in terms of exploit. It's like someone made it function a way that wasn't
Not
intended.
even exploited.
How do I send
It's
myself
built like
10 billion
this.
Safemoon?
I don't want to. I don't want to. I feel like people are gonna do it and then blame me for some reason. So never mind. You can figure it
Yeah,
out.
definitely
just
do not
kidding.
share that on
Yeah, you can figure it
Spaces.
out. It's
Yeah.
not hard. It's really not. Just yeah.
Guys, leave people's Safemoon's bags alone. Everybody's down bad.
But you
I
know
would
what,
advise
Jess?
against it.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say, but oh my god.
Because they're probably going to roll it back anyway. They're going to probably launch a new version where they can reassign everyone's balances to be how
Mark,
it was
and maybe
before.
part and then maybe part of the problem, Hank. If you're still listening, I have a message from Thomas, your old coworker, old former team member. He says hi. If you're still listening, Hank, that's from Thomas to you.
Everyone, stop the space. This is breaking.
I didn't realize
For him, it
people
might.
Everybody
had SafeMoon bags. Like, I didn't
Alright.
know who sits around with SafeMoon bags at a time like this. I don't know.
Now-
I don't have many feelings anymore. I'm numb.
It's been a pleasure,
So it's
though,
hard to
guys.
have sympathy.
I have to run, but yeah, thanks for letting me up here. If you have any questions, Andrew, just like shoot me a text or something. I'll talk to you guys
You
later.
got it. Yeah,
Bye.
thanks, Mark.
Active, before you came up, I think DeFi Mark had said that this was actually a somewhat of a new contract that somebody just put out there.
Right. No, I was here
recently.
listening for a while before I came up.
Oh, okay.
But that it was just a very basic, open door kind of basic error that should not have been made.
Yeah, exactly. You build the house that has no walls in the middle of the highway, and you're saying it's exploited by the cars. Like, wake the fuck up.
Exactly.
The worst part is they found a token that had 5 million in liquidity. I never even heard of. Was it Mushroom? What was it called? Whatever it is.
I guess it boils down to, like, it still doesn't make the person who stole the shit right. You know what I'm saying? It just because it's there doesn't mean anyone can take it, and that's a basic human thing. I would tend to think, like, just because it's there doesn't mean it's finders keepers kind of thing. It's just a really bad timing for this too, given all of the news about Binance and
you're right, Active. I think had they had the money, 8-9 million, the first tweet should have been, "Don't worry about selling, just leave it alone. We got this in reserves. We're going to fix this contract and start over." And that's it.
Well, you would want to
John's going
squash it as soon as
20 million.
possible.
He's gonna give half of it back. Everything's cool.
Now we're down to half. Okay. By the end of this phase, we will have we'll see where we end up.
Probably a little bit less.
If it makes you feel any better, I bought probably, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, Safemoon Black. Don't ask.
Now we're gonna have the Three Stooges. We got Duke Kwan and Sam and Coroni, I guess, together.
Oh, they're gonna make like a killer NFT project from jail.
Stargaze, what's going on? Brought you back up. And you jump back down. CC, you got the mic.
Yeah, just letting people know on the YouTube side of things and the Twitter side of things, if you're tuning in late, that basically they came in and explained that there was a burn function that is what allowed them to exploit the contract and take the BNB, and but also that what Mark and my lord were saying was that this, I think, can be fixed and that you should not do anything. I mean, but like Jess was saying, if you follow your own gut, if you think you want to risk something, like do that. But just it might be risky. You might not get anything. They might exploit what you had. You make your own decision. But yeah, I forgot.
Best way to tell is take a look at the liquidity pool that you're pulling from and make sure there's that much money in there.
Even if it's there now, that doesn't mean it'll be there in 5 minutes.
No, I'm just saying make sure whatever you're selling is that much money is actually in the pool, because right now shit's fucked.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, if you're selling like $10, just make sure that there's at least $10 in there. I don't know. I wouldn't even say to do anything. I don't want to give anything like hacking and contracts and exploits is way out of my league. And I just don't get how something like a dev can come in and be like, oh, that was easy. I found that in 2 minutes. And then it just be like, how is it possible that could happen? Because
everything
not only is this going to have like a tremendous negative effect on Safemoon, which is already in its worst position it's ever been in, but also people are literally taking losses that, unless Mark said they're able to rewind, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. People are taking losses that they're not going to get their money back, even if Safemoon injects new liquidity from the treasury.
The one thing for me that's kind of a little bit bothering. It's bothering me a little sense is that Mark and Malord figured out what was quote unquote wrong and put out a statement before Safemoon put anything out officially. It just doesn't look fantastic on them either way.
I think I got I just saw. Hey, Jeremiah thinks if you're in here, you got another guy impersonating you as well. So if you get a DM from somebody that looked like Jeremiah, be careful. This guy was trying to trade with me earlier. I sent a report. So.
Active,
okay. Yeah. And sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
Active. I have a quick question. What happened to your Safemoon Dark?
Black.
Black, yeah.
What
happened to it?
I don't know. It was fucking rug. I don't know. It was. I think I probably did something like $25, and I had 5 trillion tokens. Who knows? It was one of those ridiculously degen. I know this is going to zero. I'll become rich off of $25 kind of thing.
Hey, whatever happened to that Safemoon After Dark guy with the bald head?
I don't know. We're blocked to each other. I haven't talked or heard anything from him in over a year.
I definitely can't imagine why. Or Sean. Sean's definitely another throwback that needs to get more recognition.
I think I got along with him. So yeah, I mean, I don't really quite know exactly where to go from here. The point of this space, in my opinion, or one of the things, obviously it's nice to cover things that are relevant, all that stuff. I'm not gonna say that obviously I didn't play a part, but for me, the important part is to cover this, bring resources together, a bunch of smart people join, and share information that might save people money and help people understand what's going on and where this is moving forward. I don't know if we're going to get any immediate. Well, actually, there was something going on that I guess is worth watching, which is that he and I didn't quite understand this. I don't know if anybody up here, unless Mark or somebody wants to come back up. It seemed like he hadn't got it to a position where it won't be retrievable. Right now, Binance can apparently stop what happened and get that money back or something, according to Mark. But so I don't know if it's in a position where it's definitely gone yet. And I guess it would be nice to track that and find out, okay, now we know for sure it's gone, and now we're waiting for the team to say, okay, now don't worry, guys, we can cover this and put the amount back in, or put this amount back in. If they'll even do that, I don't know. But if anybody wants to come up on the YouTube side or the Twitter side of things, it's at CryptoControl3 on Twitter. You guys are welcome to come up and share your experience. If you lost money and you want to warn somebody about not doing something, that could be super helpful to somebody else. Or if you just have important information that you want to share, just come on up. It always does this thing where it looks like you're talking, Andrew. You're not talking right now, right?
No, I'm on mute.
Oh, okay, your mic will start moving and stuff. Either way, guys, I'm pretty much. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm wondering what contract the actual builder had when he built the contract, or several of them, Do they have like no disclosure agreement, or will they be like approached by some regulation agency to actually disclose what he was asked to build? Does anybody knows who is the builder hired for this specific contract?
Probably some guy on Fiverr or something. I don't know. Who are the devs for? No, okay, seriously, who are the devs for Safemoon? Like, who can tell me that?
I mean, they've been given the instructions by founders, right? So, oh, there's a frog noise. Jess, are you in the jungle? Confess.
No, that was a cricket because when I asked the question, like, who are the devs for Safemoon? Like,
They
nobody.
don't have Thomas to blame anymore, so I don't know.
In Thomas's words many months ago, where's John? But for real though, I don't think I don't even know if the Safemoon devs are in house or they're they're contracted out. I don't know. I think Mark touched upon that earlier, possibly. I just can't remember what he had said though. Either way, it's definitely not a great look.
Armando, what's up?
I mean, I just wanted to say two things. I know this is not funny. We just, ah, God. Two things, right? Now, if it was an exploit based on their fault, why is it like, oh, we had nothing to do with this? You guys are on your own. What kind of shit is that?
It's not an exploit. It was built like this.
It's
Yeah, but
on them. It's definitely
no,
something
and
they
I
did. Right.
exactly.
They're on the
Because
hook.
they
Like,
built the
they're
thing.
not off the hook. They're on the hook whether they do it or not. It's if somebody takes legal action, they're fucked, basically.
Because the way crypto control, he was saying, oh yeah, they already said that they're not sure it's only the LP and everything else. I'm like, okay, that's a way to step away from what responsibility.
We don't disagree with you. Like,
And one more thing too that I always hear from a lot of these SafeMoon maxis. They kept saying, oh, I don't care if SafeMoon does anything for 3 years. I'm gonna buy more because it's only gonna get better. This goes to show tomorrow's never promised.
What Max is sorry? I don't know any anymore.
yes, there are Safemoon maxis.
Yeah,
No.
tomorrow's never promised, and this is a prime example.
They just can fork the chain, I guess. I bet there is more
What
hashtag
chain? There is
exploits.
no chain. It's just a
What is if it's
token.
custom? It's even easier.
I'm just waiting for the
I mean,
nanobots.
they always defended the project, saying, "Oh no, that it takes a long time. It's a new company. It's a new space. They're revolutionizing tokenomics, and they're changing the world. It takes time. Yeah, this is the time that it takes for them to get rugged."
That's why they hired that very old man.
Jesus.
But at the end of the day, the best thing for everybody would be that, if John does have the money, like everybody says, that he puts it back. Because otherwise, like, a lot of people are going to get hurt. And at
Yeah,
the end of, they
he's
took
gonna
their
have
cut already.
he's gonna
And
have to sell his mansion to put the money back.
Put it this way: if they put that money back, I'm gonna buy more Safemoon.
oh
That
my
means they're
God, you
doing.
see,
I
and
ain't buying
that's the
shit.
reason
I ain't
why,
buying shit.
I know
So
it
no,
sounded a little bit harsh earlier, but I kind of hope that Safe Moon doesn't make a comeback because people are going to invest more of their money and they're just going to be, I
Don't
mean,
worry, this time they're
it's a
gonna
well
orbital
known that
shield
they've been
it.
stealing. Yeah, it's well known they've been stealing liquidity for years. Like, at this point, only the
It's like
maxis
saving
deny it.
SBF right now. Like, it's the same thing on a smaller scale.
Wow, did I join a fodder space? Guys, John Caroni's got us. The liquidity pool's insured. Everybody just remain calm. They are gonna figure it out, and we are gonna get the wind turbines going back into Gambia, and we're going to the moon. Okay? These
Well,
guys are just
we
Brian, I have
It
starting.
one
is
question.
I
safe
know, I
moon,
know
Brian,
who's
one
bro.
paying them,
question.
and you guys are all getting paid to fud.
Brian, I have one question and one
Brian, you need
question
to stop.
only, and it's an either or. BSV or SafeMoon, you can only pick one of them.
What was the first one?
Solana.
BST finance.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, CZ's been running a better run cartel for a little bit, and he's got influence. He's got influence. So if I have to,
You know what
BSV.
though? I tell you one thing though. This is a hell of a way to close out the birthday month.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I actually have something. So Mobile Trades just sent me a message saying that as far as the treasury goes, he says there's only 3.5 million in the Safemoon treasury. The rest, I guess, was Safemoon tokens, and it's worthless now. But I thought that part was insured. I thought the treasury was insured. So I guess that's where things will get weird. But I guess if they don't get that other part back, then they would only have a 3.5 million within the treasury if they were to use that to inject into liquidity, leaving themselves with nothing in the treasury.
You mean to say John Peroni lied? No,
Yeah,
I
because how
would
much?
never.
How much was in the liquidity before this happened? Because somebody just mentioned it was like 8 or 9 million not too long ago.
Well, yeah, he hadn't checked in a while, Mark. He said it was like, he said it was like a 9 to 10, 12. I forget what he said. But he hasn't checked in a
8.9 is
while.
the number he said, I think.
Yeah,
and 8.9 is how much hold on, 8.9 is how much the hacker got.
Gotcha.
That's how
Yeah,
much.
it was 8.9 before John took it.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
so some of the 8.9 is down to 3 something?
I thought it was $100 left. Isn't that the screenshot that was going around?
So we're talking about two different things. We're talking about the liquidity pool and the treasury. The treasury is like a separate thing that's where they have their own funding. And I think people are getting like these things confused right now.
The treasury had the 9 million or whatever.
No, the treasury had 3.
The LP did.
Yeah, the LP had they got 8.7, 8.8 million, like around 9 million. And the treasury, I haven't looked at it, but apparently they had around 10 million in that. But Mobile Trades just messaged me, and a dev was looking at it and saying that there's Safemoon tokens in there that are worthless. And like that post, I just shared a post of somebody saying that I don't know if this will count as something that could be insured because it was part of the design, right? I don't know if they're going to want to fork up 9 million, and that's even if they had that much. So I guess, from that perspective, unless they have money elsewhere, it does kind of look like even if they decided to put everything they had, and I could be wrong here, somebody can come up and correct me, that they wouldn't be able to cover the LP and get the price back to what it was unless Binance can get it back before the hacker gets it off chain.
Yeah, I just texted Malord. Hopefully, he can join back and let us know what's happening with all the on-chain
Yeah,
stuff.
that'd be nice.
Yep.
I mean, and this is why it was wrong for John to put himself first. He's the only one that got guaranteed something at the end.
Damn.
Yeah, it's almost just almost. Hear me out here. It's almost like it was a scam.
While he was landing in the plane.
I mean, to be honest, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but if my thinking, that had to be like some inside because this guy has nothing but like bad news coming to him lately, so he's looking for
He
a way
might have
out.
to take a pay cut.
I mean, this is just the inevitable conclusion of this fucking circus, right? Like that once it let's assume that me with my crazy theory of this is a scam is correct, right? What would somebody who just made off with basically like 10 figures, fucking 50 million, 80 million, whatever was the total that he just got? Let's assume that was his goal, for him to make all that money. Now all of a sudden he's got this like shell company, husk of a fucking shitstorm following him around for the rest of his life with all of these fucking people that are bag holding, worshiping him like a god. Like, what is the logical conclusion if I wanted to fucking tie up loose ends? I would say, damn, guys, the company, it just didn't work out. We lost the money. We tried our hardest. Maybe it's time to move on.
He's gonna launch another one.
Bro doesn't have to, dude. For what? I mean, the feds are investigating him and his buddy. Fucking Jake Paul was involved with this shit at some point, and Jake Paul just got fucking an SEC lawsuit thrown his way. Like, so, I mean, if you're this guy's got lucky, right? He's a rando. He's just tagging along for the fun. Like, Jake Paul and all these other guys got big names. They're really public, but this guy made fucking millions of dollars just hanging out with them. But the walls are closing in, right? Like, it's pretty fucking clear that the SEC is coming after scammers and fraud, and Safemoon was one of the bigger scams in this fucking bull market. And eventually, it's gonna fucking trickle down to him. So, this whole thing of like, oh, he might put the liquidity back out of the goodness of his heart, like, the theory I subscribe to more is that he's going to change his name from John Coronito, Juan Coronito, and he's going to go to fucking Mexico and disappear in a strip mall forever the rest of our lives, and we're never going to see him again.
Brian, the scariest part is that despite this, still transpiring, Jess said this earlier, I'll kind of regurgitate what you said. the entire Safemoon, army, if we can still call them that, still want this. Like, they're probably going to still invest if the new contract is deployed when and if that happens, let's say tomorrow or next month, whatever it may be. That's the kind of unfortunate thing. And as long as there's still demand for it, John's probably going to still do what John does.
That's only if, I mean, it's cost benefit analysis, right? Yeah, if that was the case, if the feds weren't cracking down, but obviously there's going to be a point where he's going to feel like it's not worth sucking all these guys' money off anymore, and it's just fucking cutting loose ends off and disappearing. I don't know when that point is. I don't know if it's
the problem.
I don't know if it's going to be V3. I don't know.
The problem with the space that's scaling, I've said this before, is that most of the space relies on greater fool theory. And that's kind of what gets people by at the end of the day in terms of when I'm being an operator in this quote unquote space, running a business and a tokenized business, let alone, running a business period. The greater fool theory is heavily relied on. And that's why people find themselves in the messes that they do. CC, you had some questions earlier from the on-chain stuff. Malord is back on the stage. Malord, thanks for joining us once again. In terms of, how much money was gone, etc. CC, the mic is yours.
Hey, I'm trying to plug this in. Sorry. Yeah, my lord. If I think that just trying to focus on, like, I know there's all kinds of emotions of going on with this, but I feel like the best thing to do is to just focus on, like, important information, and, like, the most important information is this guy going to get away with this money? Because I after looking at this, the LP or the Treasury only has apparently 3.5 million in it. So if this guy really gets away with this, is there a chance that Binance can save this, or that this can be stopped? Or and what point does this guy have to get to before it's like it can't be saved? Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Safemoon was a very large project on BSC, and I think that they probably have some more money stashed away to where they can, if they wanted to, replace the LP that was lost. Do I think that Binance themselves will step in and do something? Probably not. And that may have to do. Well, I don't personally think so, and the reason why is because, like, Binance themselves, or Binance and the Binance Smart Chain is a protocol. What happens on their protocol, like, in terms of just, like, individual, like Safemoon is completely, isolated, or it's a separate entity in comparison to Binance. Like, they were operating on the chain, so because it wasn't a vulnerability within the Binance Smart Chain itself, I have a pretty hard time seeing them getting involved.
Well, at least they can remove them in case they had them, stop the partnership. But again, you should report to Binance what's going on. And Binance itself, yeah, it's true. It doesn't insure the participants, but it does insure the actual Binance tokens that they have. So if something happened, they actually have a fund, which is pretty big.
I would personally be surprised if they actually did.
They remove the tokens all the time, Millard. Seriously, they remove the tokens all the time. I saw that happen. They cancel the pairs, they cancel the tokens.
Wait. So let's clarify something. So, yeah, I agree with you, Miller. The chances of BSC chain, the validators rolling back the chain for Safemoon, not going to happen. That's, the validators would never pass that. Now, if the hacker, for some reason, gets the funds on a centralized exchange, then maybe they could contact, Binance, the entity, and have them stop that. But it doesn't seem like the hacker has moved the funds yet, right, Millard?
From last time I checked, it wasn't. He actually still had it in a wallet. Let me see if any of that has moved around. Nope, he still has it. He still has it in a wallet, and the last activity that actually I saw from him was on Polygon. It looks like he's trying to do some things in relation to Polygon and Ethereum. I don't know if this person is necessarily a sophisticated, or he's done this multiple times. This might have been his first go around in terms of an exploit, because of just how he's kind of acting with the wallets. Typically, when large exploits go down, the person knows what to do with it. They receive the funds, it gets washed or just liquidated to multiple exchanges almost immediately. So I mean, it's possible that this guy's new and he's just like sitting with this money now, going, what do I do with about $8.5 million?
Maybe he got cold feet.
Ooh, I mean, I would personally be panicking especially if he didn't know it was going to happen and then it actually did. I mean, he also very much kicked the hornet's nest because Safemoon.
Or maybe the funds are frozen somewhere where he can't get access to
Right, like because they're blacklisting addresses or whatever they're doing. Who knows?
So surprisingly, actually, they didn't blacklist his wallet. You would think that the Safemoon deployer wallet would have some kind of, especially if they're able to blacklist certain things, that they would actually send a transaction to blacklist specifically the wallet that's holding. But then again, that would only apply for Safemoon. What he has is BNB. So it's very. I mean, I'm not sure exactly why it's just sitting there. But,
so what could happen is the way that Binance could enter in the picture is preventing them from being able to swap out, right? Like they need an off ramp. So that's where Binance could come in unless, without having to really roll things back or do too much. That's just my opinion.
So now let me ask you something. Has Don Bailey said anything yet? No, it's an honest question because what I'm saying is when the BBTF got exploited the same way, Don Bailey had a bot that countered the bot that was trying to take the money.
Where was Don
It's
Bailey
Don Bailey to the
today?
rescue every time.
No. The
Well,
reason I'm
Don
saying
Bailey's
is
the one
because
that
Don
got the
Bailey's
money.
working close with Safemoon, obviously.
Yeah, and now Safemoon knows his tricks, and they're just doing the same shit he did.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know how to answer that.
So where are we at now? Are we down to we were down to half. Are we down to a quarter yet?
Oh, by the way, just for even more, the cherry on top of this shit Sunday. So apparently, this was caused by functionality being implemented that apparently allows anybody to take money from other people's addresses and move it to a burn wallet. So people are literally just going to get their money like swiped out of their cold wallets.
Hashtag Safemoon Mega Burn.
Yeah, you could literally just go and call this function and just put anybody's address as one of the inputs, and you can just fucking take their money and burn it for fun.
Yeah, there was I think there was a token a while ago that had a similar bug. Was it Safe Earn? I think. I could be wrong.
You're asking the wrong guy, dude.
But there a while ago there actually was something very similar where basically the burn function didn't have that particular check, and you could just put in whatever address, it just goes and burns, whoever you want. Yeah, and once again, this is the risk of upgradable proxies, guys. Like, it completely subverts the immutability of the blockchain.
Exactly.
Always, if you are investing, and this is one of the things with peer-to-peer protocols, is that you really have to do your due diligence. And part of it is, if you're going to be investing into a token, make sure that you take a peek at the contract. If you know how to read code, awesome. Read through it, see if it's something that you're okay with. If not, if you go on like BSC scan or Etherscan or something like that, they do actually they pretty much tell you pretty clearly, if you go to the contracts tab, whether it's a proxy or not. You can basically go there, it will say like, oh, we can't necessarily read the functionality directly, but you can read as proxy. That right there, in my opinion, are red flags. And the reason primarily is because you can just change the implementation code behind it at any point in time. So you could have something that looks and appears perfectly fine. You get that implementation code audited, so you have that sticker that says, hey, yeah, we got our thing audited. But then, you could swap it out for any code you want. There's no check, basically. It's the deployer, if they have the ability to then upgrade the proxy, I can swap it in with something that has no functionality, that literally is just a big placeholder, then no one can trade, and it would be totally valid. So in this type of case, like, yes, the Safemoon code did work for the longest time, but I guess the developer made a mistake with the burn function, and that's what caused this issue, and that happened 8 hours ago.
Lord, so I assume the fact that it was a proxy contract has been that way since it was deployed, correct?
Since the which one? The implementation or the token itself?
The token itself.
No, that wasn't there.
Okay.
So this aspect.
Is there any way to see how long it's been a proxy contract for since implementation?
For the implementation happened 8 hours ago.
I think he's asking,
And it was
has it
exploited-
always been that way in terms of the standard being?
Oh, yes, it's always been a proxy. Yes.
Okay.
When they upgraded from Safemoon V1 to V2, they switched it to a proxy.
And nobody bothered, once again, raising awareness to anything like this? I assume this is usually what happens.
No, not necessarily. A lot of people said, I mean, like, even back then, like, you know, we were throwing up the flags all the time. But, you know, there's people that are going to listen and look, and people who are simply going to believe. And unfortunately, you know, a lot of, whether you consider it founded or unfounded, a lot of trust was given to the Safemoon name, especially in their community. So they just trust that everything's going to be great, and, well, they got taken advantage of.
This is a classic case of ignorance is bliss. From the time of Sam, you know, the VC's never looking into the actual what he was doing behind the scenes. You know, just open up the hood a little bit. No one asking any questions. We've seen this with the algorithmic stablecoin and Doquan. That's never worked. Why would it work now? Ignorance is bliss once again. Hector, what is going on? It's nice to see you in a Safemoon titled space. Usually they're BSV related, but it's nice to have you join us.
Yeah, just hearing about
really quick,
Safemoon being rugged.
If I can correct something real fast, I'm sorry. It actually, apparently the Treasury does have 9.6 million in it. So if they really wanted to, they could pull it out of that and cover the LP.
And Andrew, they were warned multiple times. Anybody who was still hoping, it was literally just covering their eyes and ears and just like, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to see it. Like, everybody was talking about Safemoon was the biggest fucking scam of the entire bull market. Everybody was talking about it and like, oh look, this is dangerous and this is being done wrong and this is risky, guys. And fucking CoffeeZilla put out three videos and the fucking feds were investigating them. And they were all just like, nope. John's our boy. He's got us. He's going to take us safely to the moon.
Yeah, we knew Safemoon wasn't the sexiest of investments, and I'll use the word sexy, you know, because it definitely wasn't for the past maybe year and a bit now. But I think there's a whole other thing when the operational side is definitely, you know, falling by the wayside, and then when contracts are actually, you know, not functioning the way they're supposed to, or there's a, you know, a problem with the contracts. Two different things. You know, it's one thing to have your business not operating as it should, and there's a whole other conversation to be had when the devs are just kind of blind to certain things. Hector, I'd love to get your take on the situation. Obviously, you're a very rational person with certain things. With some other things, you know, there's definitely just a question there. But I'd love to know your take on the situation.
It sounds like it was inevitable. I agree with Brian. This belief that for some reason this project was going to somehow live on. I think it's just, you know, doing what it's supposed to do, and you're finally seeing it. So I don't know what people like. I would love to hear if anyone has some rationalization or expectation that this is somehow a good thing, because I assume that there's someone there, and that to me would possibly be a symptom of bias. But I think it's just safe to say, you know what, like, this is an L, write it off, move on, and learn something from it.
Dude, Dark Horse, Gambia windmills are going on this whole time, right?
Didn't they just have a space or something saying that they're looking into shit? That they're looking into it? Are they done looking into it?
They're looking for someone to launder the $8 million for them. That's what they're looking into.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody that doesn't know this is happening right now, can they actively buy Safemoon at the moment?
You're gonna get shit price.
Brian just
Yep.
said you can literally go
the page is active and the transfer to V2 bridging is active on that page.
And you risk
And they're
someone
actually
sending your
quoting all
SafeMoon through the burn
blockchains as
wall
So
their
if they
it's
feel like
partners.
it.
come on, guys.
Leo, are you that much of a fucking degenerate gambler that you're gonna go and try to buy a
No,
fucking shitcoin that's going to zero?
no, 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 no. I'm trying to protect the people that are in this space right now listening. If somebody doesn't know, like, and they want to buy some SafeMoon, and they're not on Twitter, they're buying this fucking token right now, and they haven't paused it.
It is true. There
Oh,
is
you can
probably
totally
some
buy it.
people that don't know.
Leo, that's a
Yeah, they
decent
might be
question.
like, "Oh, what a dip! We could buy the dip, guys." Yeah.
That's a decent question, my lord. Was there be any way from a dev standpoint to kind of lock down the contract so people are not purchasing anything more? Is that even possible? Functionality?
Yes, actually, and I think they may have done that already. So they did a couple transactions. First of all, they turned off swap and evolve. Second, they blacklisted both the Pancake Swap LP and SafeMoon Swap LP for the SafeMoon BNB pairings. That blacklisting should basically disable transferring and swapping through the contract. So I believe people can't necessarily buy SafeMoon anymore. People are approving the contract. Sorry, people are approving the contract. And you know, I assume they're trying to do something, but yeah, it's locked at this point.
There are no transactions.
Who wants to OTC me some SafeMoon?
Let me see if they in fact are blocking everything. Give me 1 second. Oh, by the way, $7.3 million was just transferred from the hacker's wallet to a different wallet.
Oh no!
Like just right now?
He's starting to move stuff.
Lord, what chain is it on? Is it the exact same chain or is it a different chain?
Still BSC.
Okay. How much of that money, what percentage of that capital was moved over?
Like maybe 90. I think there was only 1.3 left.
Okay. All right.
So he's not completely greedy.
Can he run this through Monero or anything of that likings to kind of, wash it in a sense, or is that something he could do?
He needs to go to an exchange, or so he needs to move to a different a bridge or somewhere to
If he's
move
doing it
off
on
of
Binance,
BSC.
he's fucked because they're looking into all that. I mean, I think it's and don't you have to KYC?
Yeah, don't worry, CC's got us, guys.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying anybody's getting their money back.
If it's not CZ, it's one of his
You
other entities.
KYC
That's got
with your
us.
phone. With
Yeah,
your phone KYC.
Yeah, CZ is facilitating fraud. He's protecting his own self. Like if he had money in SafeMoon and he was going to lose
I'm
money,
not
then he
talking
would have
about
fucking broken
him.
the chain.
Like I don't. I think regardless if he wants it to happen or not, it's going to happen.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this is what Binance Smart Chain exists for. It's for this. It's for people to steal people from other money from other people and
I
wash it
can't
and
disagree.
get out.
My experience has not been great on there. So
Yeah, so it's just another happy customer. Juan Caronito is just gonna fucking disappear with the money that he's gonna make, and that's it.
it's like if
So
it
I
walks
think
like a
that,
duck and it talks like a duck. Like how many times does it have to happen for you to actually accept what's happening? You know.
I think it come down to if SafeMoon did have enough money to cover what was lost, would they do it, or would they just be like, "Sorry guys, I guess this is the end of the road," you know?
Some
So always just
You know
sell
the
out
answer
the
to that
contract, right?
question.
headquarters tomorrow demanding answers.
Yeah, good luck going to the headquarters that the office light hasn't turned on in like fucking half a
Start
year.
making your picket signs.
Well, it's like they are making money off the swap, so they could continue SafeMoon and keep charging like outrageous things and profiting off their army. But if they don't fix this, then like only like the most insane maxis, which there's a lot left, would be left of like, oh yeah, we lost the LP, yeah, SafeMoon. Which if you go search SafeMoon on Twitter right now, you'll find positive posts about SafeMoon right now. Even some doing this is a good thing. This is actually good for SafeMoon.
Have you not been in any of the Maxi Cope spaces? They are actually spinning this is a good for SafeMoon thing. It's stuff like, oh, this happens. These are growing pains for a growing project, or if we get past this, like we'll come out the other side stronger than ever. Like, or CZ's got it. They are actually spinning this in a positive manner. It's a fucking cult, dude.
That's
It's a
sick.
fucking
That
cult.
is actually sick and twisted.
You know what?
the official account itself came out and literally said, in their words, the LP is compromised. And I was in a space for like a couple of minutes, and I heard them say, no, the LP is not compromised, guys. This is just the developers pulling an April Fool's joke. That's the other one. There's an April Fool's joke. An April 1st money's going to be there, and the blockchain's going to launch. Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally insanity.
That
It's just a
sounds
cult.
like scammers. Yeah, that's when they sound like insane. Like that's definitely sounds like one of those crazy scammers.
Yeah, 'cause it's like
Just
Andrew
guys,
said.
just
Like,
getting ready for the 4-1 pump, and then everyone's bag is going to the moon.
You know what?
yeah, it's like Andrew said. This whole thing is just relying on greater fool theory, and these people don't want to realize like they're the fools that are left holding the bag, and they're trying to find another fool to fucking pass their bags on to.
Yeah, I'm okay with talking about that. I don't want to make this space all about just shitting on maxis. For me, I care more about tracking what's going down. And what's something that is going down is that wallet. It was transferred to a new wallet, like Malord said, and it's a clean wallet. Like it doesn't have anything else in it right now, but it says it has 7,300,000, which I thought he pulled out 7 million, like 700, 800,000.
What if they had thought about this beforehand and did exactly what I don't know who was active or something said? Somebody said, let them just go ahead and reset, and DeFi Mike said let them reset and just bring everybody back their money. But you know what? They take that 8-9 million back, but now nobody's gonna look for that money that went missing, and boom, there's a clean freaking rug there as far as that money going somewhere, and nobody has to look for it because the investors got their money back.
Like I said, if they had the money and they were going to save it, they would have made that announcement. That would have been the first priority. Don't worry, this is good. We're doing this and move on. But now they have all eyes on them, and it's just getting worse, like by the hour.
Yeah. We gotta make the hype
John
video
did.
first.
And
John did just update us and said nothing. He said, "Hey, folks, we're addressing the issue again. Thanks for your patience." Like 5 minutes ago, he said that. Yeah, get another video.
Was that when they transferred the money to the other wallet?
Yeah. Actually, I could look at that. That'd be funny if it was. It was 8 minutes ago for the transfer. So it was like 3 minutes before John posted that. That does sound really bad, but
Yeah,
I don't think there's a correlation.
We're looking into it right now as we transfer.
DeFi Bill, you got the mic. You've been trying to speak. Go for it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I heard somebody say something about saving the investors. I mean, investment 101, guys. Whatever you invest, if the company goes to shit, you're fucked. There's no saving the investors. The company is the first entity that's gonna get taken care of if the company goes bankrupt or if something happens. The investors are out of luck.
Yeah, because Sam himself bought for what, 450 million worth of real estate before all this shit went down on the 19th of whatever it was.
Investors in here are all risks when investing. That includes bankruptcies.
What about Kevin O'Leary? Because I'm pretty sure he's been rocking the Safemoon laser eyes.
Oh no.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's been wearing them for quite a minute, like a year.
Yeah, I actually feel kind of sorry for him because he's like, he clearly is interested in crypto, and clearly he sees the the what is the potential for crypto, but he's getting involved in all the wrong projects.
He is the Biden in crypto.
What happened to his own project? He had something called like Wonderland or something coming out. What happened to that, Mr. Wonderful?
He was out apparently.
Wow.
Malord, are those funds Safu or not really?
Which ones?
The ones you were reading on chain.
There's no way.
The funds.
Wait, are you talking about the ones
They
that the
Safu?
hacker has? Because they're not Safu.
Okay, have they moved again, or they're just kind of, I guess sitting right now?
Oh, right now, no movement. Doesn't seem.
Okay, Hector, you're a pretty rational person. We went over this. We went, kind of over this about an hour ago. I have to ask you the question again. So some people are talking about, an insurance policy or some form of insurance for this type of situation. Is that even possible in the DeFi world?
Is it possible? Sure, someone could probably underwrite your risk, but I wouldn't do that, and I think majority of people wouldn't do that because it's just riddled with this expectation that getting your money back is very difficult. And if people still believe that, then no one's going to want to insure this crap. So just let everyone do the Wild West thing, and whoever people want this, right? This is what you guys want. You guys want a bearer asset that no one else can take from you. So this is what you get. We are incentivized to take money from people who are not tech savvy, and the most tech savvy win.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thanks for having me. Just want to say that I'm gonna try to hop 2 minutes from my friend's space and going for a walk. So have a nice evening and dinner, everyone.
Thank you,
You
Snowflake.
too.
Bye bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. But Andrew, on the insurance thing, all I'm gonna end it with is find me the name of the company that insured this liquidity, and give me their ticker on the publicly traded market, and I will short the shit out of that company with fucking huge size.
Definitely a great opportunity for investment there. I second that.
Yeah, as far as like, I know someone just came up and said that they wouldn't try to fix this because they're a company and they put themselves first. Like, I definitely see that as an option where it's like, hey, if they had to give most of their funding, which I don't know how much they have. Like, we know in the treasury they have like what, 9 million, so they could put 8 million back in and have 1 million in the treasury, and then whatever else they're making. And it's like, I get that everyone or many people are like, well, they're scammers and they're idiots and all that stuff, so they won't do that. But on the opposing side, it's like, well, they might think we can make more money off of these investors in the long run by keeping them believing in us and keep getting swap partners and stuff like that. Like, they're charging quite a lot for those swap partners, and it would only take, I mean, I guess it could take a couple of years, but I don't know. For me, I can see equal weight with them just saying, sorry guys, we got to call it, that really ruined us and that sucks, we'll get them next time or something. But I could also see a route where they like try to get investors back and so that they can keep the charade going.
Isn't the treasury, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the treasury in Safemoon?
So I was talking to Mobile Trades, and he was talking to another dev who was looking at that, and they said that the part of it that was in Safemoon, they thought that there was only like 3 million in it, and that's why I said that number earlier. But then he got back to me and said that after they pulled it up, it shows the actual value, which came out to it says 9 million right now if you pull up that wallet.
Oh, okay.
Lord, is this the Safemoon hack up? Is this the first Safemoon, I guess, exploit up to date, or have there been others?
I believe this is the first exploit from Safemoon. There's been a lot of weirdness involving their liquidity pools and other things like in the past. And like things that were seen as like kind of uncouth, like for example the 100% tax on the V1 people, so that it forces them to migrate to V2. Like that's pretty crap. But in terms of an exploit, I would say this is probably the first.
Can you check for me to see was there any doctoring on the contract in terms of the buy and sell tax before the liquid was pulled out?
Hold on. I don't think you're talking about before this current exploit, right?
Yeah. Like, was there kind of a stage being set? Was the sell tax or the buy tax changed before the money was pulled out?
Well, I mean, so for tracking that type of activity, I would say take a look at the Safemoon deployer wallet. So that one, this would be the person that is actually deploying new code, and then adjusting it for the proxy. There has been activity in those regards, but the activity for it is mainly like he's clearly doing some development work on like the Safemoon bridge. And then the 8 hours ago posted this this update to the code. So I think he was working on some kind of functionality. I would have to read through the code to figure out like more of what he was trying to do there. But yeah, I mean, it just looks like you just pushed up some vulnerable code, and I don't know if it was purposeful or if it was accidental. But that's just what happened. Or at least that's what caused this.
So Jess just shared this right now with one of our group chats. Shout out to Jess. I don't know. I have no idea what this means. Safemoon burn wallet has been unburned. My lord, you take a look at that. I pinned it up top. It was from Fonzie. Can you kind of elaborate on what's kind of going on there?
Andrew, before he goes, I'm gonna tell you one thing because I'm driving. I just posted something up top a week ago. Somebody put the class action lawsuit. I don't know if this was talked about yet. So it's weird that a week later this is happening. But I posted that thing up top. I haven't read it yet, but it was just DM'd to me.
Leo, we appreciate the information, share.
Safemoon burn wallet has been unburned. I'm reading through it now. Give me a couple moments.
Awesome.
Magic internet money. Magic internet money.
Yeah, Active, that's exactly what it is. We're playing an ecosystem that doesn't really exist outside of Twitter, I guess. That's exactly what we're playing in. For those that are just trickling in, we are talking about the Safemoon hack, and the entire funds are now being allocated somewhere else. There has been one transaction move. My lord had stated with the funds, so that's what we're talking about now. Obviously, if anyone wants to come and speak, the floor is obviously yours. Just please be respectful to the other guests up here. If you have any friends that are definitely still investing in the Safemoon, we would love to kind of hear from them and kind of understand the rationality in this. I especially would love to hear from that. So everyone is welcome up on stage.
I'm curious as to what the expectation is. Like, if this stuff can exist and people believe sovereignty, right, and there's no givebacks, is this just the way it goes, or like, do you want intervention from someone else?
No, I think we've this is a whole other topic, Hector. But I think that the psychology in this space is so fucked up. Like, in what world do you steal and say, "Oh, too fucking bad, don't give it back, haha, you shouldn't have made that mistake"? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get the right thing to do is to give it back. Basics,
right? Yeah, and then, like, but it's like saying, like, stealing is illegal. That doesn't stop people from stealing, right? So, if anything here, like, it's like, oh, I can read code. Majority can't read code. Okay, so then there's something wrong with this code. Let me do this action or execute this part of the code, and boom, I get money now, right? So if that's what people want, is one-way functions that you can't take back. So then, I guess it's like, what's the point?
This is like the Bitcoin argument. This is the Bitcoin argument. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is, you know what I mean? Trust, whatever.
Trustlessness,
like,
we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And not having to do those checks, but this is different than that. Like, that concept gets rolled into these other concepts where it doesn't really apply to these shit coins because they're not immutable. Somebody
but
can go and
they're
do
all the same though, right?
Shit.
Like, I'm not trying to go into one specific category. I'm saying, like, this is all the same. Like, right now, if for example, like, it wasn't, I don't know, if your coins were changed or moved to your Bitcoin was changed or moved to somewhere else, like, you're okay with that then, right? Because you're saying Bitcoin is quote unquote the biggest.
Or is it that can't happen on Bitcoin though? The point is, the premise there is that it can't happen.
I'm saying it can't happen in the sense, like, it can happen, technically it can, but if it just said, for example, like, if I said, Active, you will not, I kidnapped you and you will not leave until you give me all your Bitcoin.
Well, no. So the possibilities. So if I sent it to, like, the wrong address, well, it still did it. The idea is it still did its job, right? So that's my fault. Like, I sent it to the wrong address. The blockchain didn't do anything wrong. That was a human error. So if it's a human error, then yes, that's your fault. But if someone is hacking into the system and doing something illegal, that is not your fault. I don't now, in terms of rolling things back, like, that would have to be agreed upon by consensus and things like that. Like, I don't, the right thing to do is for them to give it back, to say people don't deserve to get their money back. I struggle with that concept, but I do understand the concept of it is what it is. The blockchain moves forward.
Hector,
What I mean?
it's guys, it's kind of like one of those things where like you have one too many dips in the cookie jar and then cry when you're fat. I mean, it's like you got to pick. Most cases are not really or. It's kind of an and answer for most things, but I feel like when it comes to blockchain, it's definitely an or question. You're either going to have complete governance of your assets, and if they're hacked, you can't cry the Fed after because they have no involvement. You got to really pick.
Right, exactly. You can't cry wolf like after and say, "Oh,
Right.
now I want your help. Somebody has to cover this." Right. But I don't think that's the question. I think it's the right thing is for those people to give it back. We don't want third parties entering into the that's also another rabbit hole. But third parties coming in, no, not desirable.
It's always super unfortunate when things like this happen. But I mean, at the same time, though, this is the world that we chose to play in. This is the industry we chose to invest in. So obviously, there's inherent risk with everything you do, and these are one of the risks. I mean, a hack and exploit it is a risk. It's also a risk in the financial industry traditionally, but I mean, there is a lot less
But
likely
if
that
you're
these things occur.
right, Bitcoin, it's very not likely to happen. Like, do people
Unless you're
get
on
hacked of their
unless you're on a
Bitcoin, or
centralized
do they
exchange,
fall
then
for
yeah.
scams? You know what I'm saying? Do they fall for scams versus just getting hacked for your Bitcoin? You don't really get hacked
But this
for
is
your
a
Bitcoin
hack,
that I
right?
know
This
of.
is a hack. Someone's exploiting code. Like this is not like someone like
This code was deployed irresponsibly, is my understanding. That it was just had a hole in it that was a very basic thing that
right.
should
So
have
if
been
like for
noticed. But
example, if you had hardware wallet that had an update that was irresponsibly done, that could be the same thing, right? For Bitcoin.
I just don't get.
Technically, anything can get stolen. Especially if you're on an exchange, I would definitely advise you to all get off. Malord, you've been quiet. Have you kind of debunked what Fonzie tweeted, which was Safemoon burn wallet has been unburned? I don't understand.
Yeah. So that had to do with the burn function. So that exploited burn function basically took, like, you could basically pass in whatever address you want, and they would burn it. And part of that burn actually sends the Safemoon tokens over to the deployer wallet. So what someone did is just put in like the burn address and then called the function on the exploited contract and then transferred. So it technically like unburned it. It's a feature. Let's just call it that. But however, I did see that actually they did just update their the implementation contract. So they updated the proxy and pointed it to the Safemoon implementation contract that was launched about 70 something days ago. So basically, they rolled it back.
Lord,
it's all fixed. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Lord, was the unburn function was that triggered through automation, or was that manually done through a dev or through code?
Oh, you could definitely do it on on BSC scan. Like it looked like a public.
So
it wasn't real.
Someone probably just did it.
It's this contract that was just shot. It was somebody just put it there a few hours ago, and not one person thought to even fucking check the motherfucker. I mean, is it that easy to mess with the contract? I'm confused.
So in that case, yes, because there was the exploit and the burn. But this is, and I'll say it again because it's so important. This is the danger of a proxy contract. You can think of it like a storefront. Like you have your kind of like your storefront in that people are able to enter and see and interact and stuff like that. However, the implementation or the stuff is happening behind the scenes. So if you trust what's happening, then I guess you do you. But it subverts the whole purpose of why blockchain was created. It's supposed to be transparent, immutable, means it can't change, and crap, hold on. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a moment.
The word you want is censorship resistant. That's the word you want.
Yes. Yes.
People use proxies to like hide their code because they don't want people to steal their contract, or because there's like a function that works better off chain than on chain sometimes, right?
Or sorry, say it one more time.
Oh yeah, I mean when I was like studying proxies like a while ago, I was trying to get an idea of what it is. But like the only time I've seen like people try to use it is because they're worried that other people are going to like steal their code.
Oh, actually
Is that the
not.
same thing or no? Okay, okay.
So in this type of case, like the proxies are still there, like, but the reason why they do it is actually to make stuff upgradable, meaning basically to make it mutable. So the three things that I was trying to say actually is trustless, transparent, and immutable. Those are the three, like, basically pillars of what blockchain technology is supposed to be. The trustless aspect is the reason why we have the consensus model that we do. That's the whole like purpose of blockchain from the very beginning was it was created to as like a response to the whole 2008 recession and the banks doing what they were doing. So by forming this trustless model in a way where you can essentially have validate transactions in a way that doesn't require you to trust a centralized source, and that was the whole purpose. But with proxies, it kind of subverts it because what you're connecting to is that proxy. It's the forward face, but the implementation can be changed at any particular time that you want. It makes it immutable. The trustless access comes from the immutability. So if I display something, for example, if I publish something and that says that x equals 5 and it's immutable, then every time you go check it, x will equal 5. However, if it is mutable and I say x is 5, next time you check it, you don't know necessarily if it's going to be 5 or not, because I could just go and just modify it and make x equals 1. And that's the exact problem with proxies.
Lord, this question, Leo, please, really quickly. This question comes in from Nikki, and she asks, "What is the purpose of a proxy contract, and why would any brand want to use it?"
So the purpose is, or at least the reason why a lot of people use it, or a lot of devs like are using these upgradable proxies, actually it has to do with that whole mutability aspect. It does make it easier to just change and modify. Like you don't need to migrate a token or ask them to go to a V2 or anything like that, because like personally, like it is, from a developer standpoint, it is annoying dealing with immutability. You push the code and then you're like, oh, it would be really cool if I had this feature, and now you have to go and redeploy a whole new thing, tell all of your people to go use that one instead of the first one. But from a holder standpoint, like literally that is the point of blockchain tech. So by creating that proxy, or like that upgradability aspect, you're completely subverting like basically you're subverting blockchain tech. You might as well just have all of the things in like a regular database and then just say that you're issuing everyone gems, like in a video game or something. Like
yeah, you're sacrificing the fundamentals that are the reason we did it in the first place, right? Like you're definitely sacrificing those things. Higher risk, much higher risk. I don't know how you can trust it at all, to be honest. Like you shouldn't be bag holding in there. You can trade, but to just have it sitting there, it's super high risk.
Yeah, you would have to basically monitor all the implementations that are coming. So every time the migrate function it gets called on the proxy, on like the proxy's address, you would have to like basically go in, read it, and then determine for yourself if you want to do it. And unfortunately, some of these protocols, they change that implementation contract a lot.
Right.
Because
there's no way to monitor that.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, they use it almost like a commit, and
not like in a live action type of way. Like, oh, it's happening, I need to like, it's not possible unless they told you about it ahead of time. It's just a bad idea.
Exactly right.
My lord, with this like craziness going on, like someone said, like someone's burning everybody's Safemoon tokens, and now like the burn wallet, like is this guy? It's just like absolute chaos happening on the inside, and like unburning the wallet, like that doesn't change anything, because there's nothing to pull out, right?
Who
It's just,
unburned it? Like, is this something the team did, or what's happening?
No, just anyone could. But like when that particular implementation, like when people basically discovered that, hey, this burn function, you could just call whatever wall you want and just burn someone's Safemoon. Like, it's gonna be chaos. Like, people are just arbitrarily burning other people's tokens. Like, you could do anything, and the transactions
They
that were
can't stop it. They can't stop this. Jesus, like
well, they just technically did by switching out the implementation, by rolling it back, basically, and like, and
okay,
you know
that's what I
that.
was asking in the first place, right? The whole rollback, the whole unburning. Like, was that one thing, or was that two separate things?
Or no, sorry. The rollback is rolling back the code. So in the same way, and this once again shows the the mutability of proxies. You had this bug, and then they just went and say, okay, well, the previous version worked, so I'll just point it back to the previous version. That technically did fix the bug, but I don't think that's a good justification for using proxies, even though people who are into proxies would use it as the justification.
No, what are you gonna do? Like, like deal with this every other day? Like no, it would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
So I have a question,
Yeah.
guys, if you guys can hear me. So do you guys believe that this was like a very trivial issue with the code, right? Do you guys believe that they intentionally did that so that they can steal all the liquidity pool? Like,
Yes, this guy, he's on to something.
I can't personally say that because I'm not a huge fan of speculation. It, maybe it's inside, maybe someone just stumbled on it. There's people that very regularly audit all sorts of contracts from all over the place and look for exploits. And some people even monitor other people's wallets that are known to be like Solidity developers or just basically pushing new contracts to the chain. In fact, you could actually use a library like a Python or JavaScript library to literally look for certain events that gets triggered onto the chain. So you can actually just screen for any new contracts going live. That's exactly what BSC scan does when they query. They just read every single block and look for, oh, there's a new deployment here. And for people that are actively looking at exploits, one of the things that they do is, hey, there's a new contract that just came and was deployed. All right, let me just look at the bytecode, see if it resembles anything that I'm familiar with. And if so, all right, well, I have all these exploits available to me. Let's just run a bunch of them onto this contract and see what works. There's people who just do this automatically.
I was a little confused. Yeah, like people are just doing this. I think that might be. Yeah, not going to mention that, but is this something? Because somebody came in earlier and said that the developer went to go do something, and that's what allowed for them to do that. Could they have always have done this, or did the developers of Safemoon do something that allowed him to do this, or did they could have done this months ago or whatever?
I don't believe so. I can look at the implementation of the current function, but if it this whole thing happened when it was deployed at this point, I think probably 9 hours or so ago. And if it wasn't present beforehand, then they wouldn't have the ability to do so. But I'll be able to tell you in just a couple moments. Just got to read it.
It's nice to have smart people in this space.
Lord, while you're reading what you're reading, has there been any development with where the capital is, or it's just kind of been displaced once after the initial hack?
Let's see.
Yeah, I was wondering that too after it moved.
Okay, so the original one still has 1.2 mil in it. The 7.3 or 7.2 that was transferred is still sitting in the wallet. So no movement.
Okay. Yeah, either way, this is going to get tracked. If he was to run it through, let's say, Monero or something, Hector Malloy can answer this. Would it be washed, or would it still be able to be tracked? depending on where it was, etc.
Depends on what you're using. So if he goes through like what's it called?
Tornado.
Like Tornado. It would be very, very hard to track, but it's still technically trackable. There are scripts and stuff that try to monitor that. They're expensive because it takes a lot of time and effort to do so. If he bridged it to other chains, he could pass it through a bunch of different other tumblers and protocols to do that type of stuff. Monero is a different story because Monero and other like CryptoNight algorithm type that have that privacy attachment to it, that requires you to swap it into their native token. I think at this current point, the only things that can do that are centralized exchanges. So he would have to off-ramp it onto a centralized exchange first, which, if it goes through those type of hot wallets, it could be hard. Or, I mean, it could be easy to track who, in fact, is the hacker. So
there's really no chance that you can get away with it legally. If he's ever trying to like make off with that money, he's always going to have to keep it in wallets, which kind of limits, or if he does take it, off chain, then he'll get caught. I mean, it's pretty, hopefully he does.
And Landon, welcome to the stage. I hope you're all caught up with the issue that's going on right now.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. I just got the news. I was at my daughter's soccer game, so it's unfortunate to hear that, and hopefully folks out there aren't affected too greatly. Hopefully the team pulls together some kind of relief to help their people.
Yeah. Surprise.
Not really surprised considering it's Safemoon's birthday month. Definitely a terrible way to go out.
Oh, man.
Honestly,
Can I ask?
I always made fun of Safemoon because John always said it was the smart thing to do not to have all the LP fucking sitting in there, and they always lied that they couldn't touch it. They'd make it right, and they put the rest of it back in there, and then I guess we can't call them super crooked anymore.
Yeah, the only people that are really hurting are the holders, and that part really sucks. Like they were taken advantage of, and unfortunately, we see a lot of that in the crypto space. I really hope that someday we can move past all of these random, dumb, like arbitrary hacks and stuff like that, so that because every single one of these type of events that happens further delegitimizes blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies across the board, especially from people outside. There's people that get affected by it, that look at it and go, well, this is nonsense, I'm out, and walk away altogether. And then there's others that maybe were thinking of getting in or just reading about it and then come across one of these hacks and they're like, okay, I'm not going to touch that. So it ends up hurting everyone in the end.
Amor, can you answer this question? Like the fact that they had 32 million in the treasury at one point. John, we all know the stuff about John, like buying a mansion and stuff like that. And like
multiple,
how could you not have like a good dev team that would not let something like this slide? Like how could that's something I can't get over, is like how could something like this happen when you have that much money?
Well, I mean, definitely with contract development, there really should be a lot more very careful consideration. So one of the things at DAPT, and for those that don't know, I'm co-founder at DAPT LLC.
I think you went on mute there.
That's what happens when you show
blockchain. Yep.
He said,
no,
when you show.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, No, I would show them too, to be honest. I don't know why it did that.
It just muted right as he said DAP. That's funny. I think my Lord was just going to say if he's able to unmute, but I think the biggest thing is smart contract development, Solidity development. You can have an incredible team. You can have a really, really great Web3 team. But if you don't have the proper folks working on your smart contracts and doing the Solidity development, one flaw, one error, even though you could be 99.9% accurate, you have to audit it. There's services that you can run it through. You want to take precautions, especially when you have a bunch of money tied inside of a wallet. So, but yeah, it's tough because when you're actually thinking about, do I have a good dev team? Majority of folks are going to say yes. They wouldn't hire them. They think they're in good hands until something like this happens. So it's
Yeah, but I guess just like in light of how much money they had, so much money
yeah.
to allow for something like that. And like it wasn't like I could see if it was like, oh, that's a new one, like nobody's running into that problem, and it's like we hadn't seen that yet. But Mark got on and said, oh yeah, I just looked and found it in 2 minutes. And it's like, well, that doesn't scream confident $1 million company that is back making sure that says it's all about safety and all those things. And I'm not trying to just FUD. It's just the real point
Yeah.
here that something like that could go unaudited, unchecked, and then everybody just lost their
I
money.
will completely say though I will say the individual that you're referring to, Mark, DeFi Mark, who's our Solidity dev for DAPT, he's kind of a one of a kind kind of dude. I don't really know anybody else like him as far as smart contract. I I'm saying this because like he's kind of somebody that is going to be the guy that's going to find it. And you can have a great dev team and run through it, and there's a lot of great Solidity developers. We have a few other ones too, but Mark is exceptional. So the fact that he found it that quick, it doesn't surprise me, but honestly, it also doesn't surprise me others missed it because he's just that good. I actually really believe though that the team that put that together, it was a lot of money, but I've also seen I've seen 12 million sitting inside of a wallet like that and get sent through a tornado and have dapped as a team, and it's just carelessness of the team. And the team just doesn't give a shit because they have 12 million and that's all they care about. They only care about the money and not how to protect it. And they're thinking about what they're going to do with it. And, not trying to FUD.
But wouldn't an audit have checked? Like they just had to audit it, right? And it would
Yeah,
audit
you
it,
could
or
have
no?
gone with solid proof or Sterling. There's tons of audit companies out there that'll check everything. And the problem with this is that the developers have to be right every day, 365, and the hacker has to be right once. And this is the extent of being right once versus the developers on a daily basis having to be consistently right and on track. And it's definitely a numbers game as well. I would assume though that the dev, whoever this was, got lazy or maybe he didn't know. I just think to what CC said, it does make the company and the brand look really bad. I mean, because they have the capital to get someone to do the job properly and effectively and efficiently. They should have done it, but they didn't. Hopefully, this is a lesson moving forward now. If there is a moving forward, it just sucks that people got stuck on hopium and copium and are now paying for that. We appreciate everyone stopping by, and hopefully you guys learned something from this space, as well as told a couple friends and made sure no one made any rough decisions afterwards.
Yep, I got to jump, fellers and ladies. It's a pleasure. Just want to jump on after the game and hear what the heck happened. So, best of luck to those that are affected. I've been there. It's not a good feeling. So, if there is any need or if there's any reason that we can help, I can help, please reach out. We want to make sure that, we want to support Web3. We want to build a community. This is not the right way. So, if any projects that are in like a bad spot or not sure, geez, just reach out. It's not always, DApp doesn't always need to charge for work either. We want to build a reputation. We want to help people. So, this isn't the right way. This Web3 is meant to be the future of finance. And right now, this is the complete opposite. We're the pioneers of the space. Everybody in the space is. So it's up to us to kind of clear the slate. All right. See you all.
Appreciate it, Landon. Guys, be sure to follow Crypto Control. He hosts these spaces occasionally, as well as the content that he posts on his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there as well. CC, I assume you will keep people updated on either your channels or your Twitter account in terms of what transpires moving forward.
To the best that I can. We've all got stuff going on in our lives, and yeah, I'm sure there'll be another space or something. Or if you guys want to start a space, to go start one. People will join and create a place for people to try to figure out what's going on and track the money as it's moving and stuff.
Yeah.
I think somebody else is requesting.
Hey, Crypto.
What's up, Truth?
Looks like the hacker just posted something on Twitter saying that he says, "Hi, I wouldn't." What the hell is that?
Can you post it up top, Truth?
Well, I'm looking at. Well, I got my phone and then I'm on my computer. But
Okay. Can you tell me his at?
Huh?
Can you tell me his Twitter at? I'll post it up top.
It's coming from Crypto C James. Message from the hacker. It's at Crypto C _J James, I guess. It's hi. I wouldn't write you this message if I weren't really in trouble. I'm over 150K in debt with the bank and have 3 kids that whatever this is. But anyway, it looks like he's probably going to get his money back. That's what they're posted up there. Yeah.
Well, that's assuming that it's actually him, right?
Yeah, that's assuming. Like I said, it was just posted up there.
Awesome. Lord, appreciate you coming back up and all the intel, the depth intel that you've dropped on us tonight. We will be wrapping this space up, and hopefully we can see what this brings us very soon in terms of where this ends and how people figure out where their money is, and maybe they get some back, maybe they don't, maybe set up a relief fund, whatever it may be. We do appreciate you stopping by and dropping some intel and all the on-chain stuff, which is always great to hear from a developer who's very well vetted in the space.
Yeah, sure. No, happy to share the knowledge. Definitely more of this type of stuff, more transparency is definitely needed. When a big event happens like this, you're definitely count on us to see what's going on.
Yeah, it's a ransom note. Wow.
And CC, we appreciate you opening up the space and making sure that people are taken care of and getting accurate information and real-time action. It's always great to have you hosting as well.
Thanks, man. Yeah, my phone's just on 3%, or otherwise I'd probably keep this going longer. Yeah, I just wanted to say again, we try to let people up and let them say what they want to say. So you're going to hear opinions and stuff that obviously I'm not going to agree with everybody that comes up here. We're just trying to be fair. But I usually typically don't want the spaces to get disrespectful, and I don't want it to just become about how stupid and evil everybody. Like I don't like that. It's just like, hey, let's pay attention to what's happening, where's the money going, we can speculate on the future and try to give people good information right when they need it. I care more about doing that. And so I definitely like focusing on that type of stuff that actually helps people and not just being like, yeah, you fucking idiots, so stupid, we told you. I don't want to do that. And I don't feel that way towards anybody. I don't want you to lose money. Even if you've been extremely hateful to me or other people, I still don't have ill will towards you and hope that Safemoon burns. So yeah, hopefully something good does come out of it. In my opinion, it doesn't look very good, and it might come down to Safemoon having to decide if they actually care about their investors or not, and if they are willing to fork over, maybe John sell his mansion and give that back to the LP.
You never know. It's definitely something that could happen. I would encourage the team if they're listening, or someone that's friends with the teams, take care of your holders, your investors, your communities first, because without them, you really have a platform to stand on. So take care of those people first. That's really what matters when operating a business: is your consumers, your customers, and your clients. Take care of those people first. Guys, we will be wrapping this up. CC will probably cut this out soon. I think his phone's at 3%, so it's definitely A good time to wrap this up. We do appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully, you guys got something out of this. If you did, be sure to follow all the speakers up here, especially Crypto Control, who does content like this on a weekly basis, as well as on things on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to his channel as well. It's also his name, which is Crypto Control. Be sure to subscribe, and appreciate you guys stopping by.
Yeah, and I just like to say this. You know, we still got the YouTube going. I'm going to end that in a second, but for me, I'm done with Safemoon. Like, just to be real with you guys, I'm focusing on the next bull run. I'm focusing on projects that are going to make me money, and I'm trying to like focus on the best strategy to find those projects that I can get in early. That's going to be life changing. So if you guys know a project, let me know and message me. Say, hey, I think I'm bullish on this one, and I'll check it out. Most of the time, I'm like, hey man, that project sucks, but you can get in on that one. But I'm always down to hear what you guys are interested in, because a lot of you guys are smarter than me, or you might just find a project that I don't know about, and I want to cover that and tell people about good projects so that they can make money. And yeah, another thing is, like, if you know a team that you're worried about, like their dev work, and you're worried, like, what if this happens with this other project that I love, then you can reach out to me personally, or you can reach out to Andrew, and you can get some solid dev work from Dapt. And it's not just to promote them, but we saw Mark got on and instantly found it in 2 minutes. And like Landon said, like, there's not many people like that. So if you're looking for work, or if you have your own project that you are serious about and want to get working, you can get in touch with us, and we can get you to the right people that can help you avoid situations like we saw today. Other than that, it was great talking to all you guys, and hopefully we find out some more information. Maybe we'll do another space if something else crazy happens. We'll open another space today or tomorrow. So you guys have a good day, and I'm going to switch over to the YouTube side of things.
Thank you guys. Enjoy your time, and have a great rest of the night, guys. Appreciate it.
Right. That's weird. There we go. What's up, guys? What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? Good to see you guys. Sorry that I wasn't able to give as much attention to that. I really usually like to focus on YouTube, but when it's YouTube and Twitter, it makes it too hard. What's up, Scripted Legend? So yeah, guys, I hope that some of this information was able to help you in some way, or at least inform you, like, be educational, entertaining, informative. That's all I'm about. I think that's the only way to really go about content. And I guess this guy's still got this 7 million in his wallet. Yeah, he's still holding it. We hear you now. Right now, we can't hear you if you're talking. CC, thanks. Gratefully dedicated. What's up, man? It's always good to see you guys. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. I try to cover Safemoon when it's important. Like I said, I'm focused on the next market, man. I'm never going to get caught in a maxi mindset, right? Like, I'm focused on making money and making people money and doing it honestly. And that's it. So I only come back to Safemoon when it's something like really big, because that's what I built this channel off of. And it's important as well. Like, that might have helped some people today to get that information out there on the Twitter side of things, on the YouTube side of things. And yeah, pretty crazy day. Like, it's messed up because it's hard. Like, it's hard when people are still being like so maxi, even in the face of like such kind of terrible things. They still attack like us for covering it, right? And it's just this weird war. Love Safemoon, gratefully dedicated. What are you looking at now? Thanks. Yeah, right now, Vitreous. I've made videos on it. If you guys haven't heard of Vitreous, Vitreous is, they acquired Reflex. So that turns off some people, but Vitreous has, it's a company called Collaborative Wealth. You can look all this up. You can watch my videos. And if you're not interested, don't do it, right? I'm never going to be like, you guys got to do this. But for me, it has good potential. It's worth throwing some money at, in my perspective. But it's a company that basically is like $1 billion company, and they have to deal with like finance and compliance. So he basically says he has to spend about $200,000 on compliance, and he has to pay like 3 people's salaries to deal with that. And they have 34 different services. So what they're doing is they're patenting technology, combining AI technology and blockchain technology in order to combine all those services into one unique service that runs files through a program, and it'll check it for compliance much faster, make it much easier. It'll constantly be updating. And so they won't be launching till the end of the year. They just finished their seed sale phase, and I am sponsored by them, so they sponsor me to make videos. So you have to incorporate that into your decision as well. However, I get sponsored by all kinds of video projects, but it doesn't mean I'm bullish on them. I'm actually bullish on this one, right? You can tell the difference whenever I'm like, hey guys, sometimes I get a sense of like, I need to warn people, like, just like we're warning people about like the Safemoon hack and stuff and about how to do the right things. Like, that's all about getting you the right information at the right time and then letting you decide for yourself. So people get really upset. Like, people are upset whenever I talked about Evergrow. Oh, you're shilling this project. Oh, you're doing this. And then it blew up. And then everybody that got into it is super thankful. Everybody that missed it, very upset. It's like, all we can do is provide opportunities. And it doesn't mean I'm a sellout, doesn't mean that it's guaranteed, doesn't mean that it's nothing. It just means, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and if you guys want to try it with me. So Vitreous, yeah, like, definitely has real potential. Look into it. Let me know what you think, and I can try to answer your questions. Other than that, I still feel like Squid Grow has some potential. And so, like, the main ones I'm in right now, guys, I'll be real with you, is Squid Grow and Vitreous for my like degen plays. But I've got BNB and Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are the main ones I'm like holding right now. I love your work. Thank you, Free Gender. I appreciate that, man. Scripted Legend says, keep covering it, bro. News should be shared, good or bad, if there's no foul intentions. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting off soon. I was like really not feeling good whenever this all went down. I'm having like some serious chest pain and is like making my heart race. Not great. Not a fun thing to deal with. And then this goes down, and I'm like, well, that's just going to make my heart race even more. But I was like, whatever, let's just do it. Like, let's cover it. So I love Safemoon. LOL, can't wait for your coin. I'm actually Safe Control. Oh, no, yeah, I'm actually not doing one. And the main reason I'm not doing one is because I don't want to have to deal with the SEC. Like, that's it. I had everything that I had planned was for the holders, right? And everybody says that, but it's always bullshit. Like, it's always bullshit. And like, for me, I'm like, no, by design, this will be for the holders. But I'm just not going to do it because I don't want them to be like, oh, that was a security and you owe us money and you're going to be in trouble. Like, I don't want to do that. I was even thinking about like, can I make it actually decentralized so that I can avoid that? And I think there might be a way to do that, but I'm just not focused on that right now. One major problem with crypto is shit happens while I'm tending to life. What the F? I know, man. Like, somebody else like out at you might be out at a soccer game, or you might be asleep, and next thing you know, your wallet's gone, right? That's the scary world of DeFi, but hey, man, it's worth the risk in my opinion. I do have XRP. Not a ton, but it's gone up a decent amount, and everybody's saying it's the next big thing if they win that lawsuit. So I don't know. I figured I'd wing some money in that one. Pablo Natiferia. You didn't say anything. Thank you, CC. You're a gentleman. Vitreous is what I meant. That one seems legit. Yeah, Vitreous, it's like, it's not guaranteed, but it has potential to be something. That's all I invest in is potential. Other than that, I'm just trying to keep an eye out for new projects. I've covered some ones that are like, they're not bad projects and they're cool projects. It just doesn't scream, I need to let everyone know about this. But yeah, I'm mostly focusing on like Bitcoin and like projects that I think will make people money and like trying to grow my YouTube. But I'll also turn back and like cover Safemoon. I lost my Safemoon today as well because I just never sold it. I only had like, it had gone down so much. I only had like a couple hundred or something. I don't even know. Like, I think it was like 400, but it's gone down so much that I haven't checked it. And like, I got a new phone, so I hadn't even added it back into my wallet to like check it out unless I go check it online, which I did do. And I think it was only around a couple hundred. So not a huge loss for me. That might surprise a lot of like fudders or I'm sorry, maxis that just hate my guts for covering this stuff. So the bottom line is everyone's wallets are gone for good, right? Electric Traveler. I think that it's going to come down to. Actually, somebody was saying something on that Twitter space. Did you guys see that? Somebody was saying that someone was pretending to, like, I don't know if they were actually the guy or pretending to be the guy, saying that they needed to take the money, but they were going to give it back or something. $123 in liquidity. Yep, that sounds about right. I'll be honest with you guys. I figured Safemoon would end with John going to jail. I didn't. If it does end, I'm not saying it's going to end right now, but it's definitely, this is not good, right? This is just not good. If they don't get that liquidity back, they have to. The only option they have is to give up and say, "Sorry, guys, the hack ruined everything. There's nothing we could do," or like continue like a absolute bullshit version of Safemoon. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's what they do. It'd be like the minimum effort into Safemoon to run them, right? Like barely keep it going, scratch all the exchange in the marketplace, and then just have like some people that are like a Discord, right, and a website. But yeah, I mean, it's a serious point for Safemoon right now, and you're probably not going to find a real conversation in a lot of the maxi spaces, because they're just like, no, this ain't nothing, I'm Safemoon, brother. This is to the moon. Like they actually they seriously still think that way. Even like that's why even CoffeeZilla was like, John could be in jail and you guys would be like bullish. He could be in jail for fraud and you guys would be like to the moon. Primer, I haven't checked that one out. Yeah, if you want to send me on Twitter, send me a message or post something to me, I'll take a look at your projects and I'll see if it like stands out to me. Something might stand out to me and it might not stand out to you, and vice versa. So, Crypto C James. Yeah, I'm actually focusing on like Michael Saylor and like covering Bitcoin and stuff. And I'm actually looking. So what I was gonna do today was work on a video, and I'd actually like to hear your guys' opinion in the chat. How do you guys feel about BNB right now? Because like I'm holding a decent amount of BNB, and I'm like, I feel like I need to pull out, but I'm already down, so I don't want to. But the sentiment seems to be that everybody seems to have a negative sentiment, and even if there's nothing to worry about, that itself could cause people to cause the price to go down. You know what I mean? How do you guys feel about BNB right now? Y'all just told them how to get away with it? No, the maxis come up with every excuse in the book. Like their minds naturally go to like why John and the team is right, and you don't have to. It's not like they're watching me and saying, "Oh, that's a good idea. We should do that." No, the maxis are already saying it's not their fault. No big deal. It's good that it happened. Like, it's not me. I promise you. James is like upset with us. No, they don't watch me, man. I mean, they might, but I know they don't like me. Yeah, a lot of people are just going to think that it's... Check it, please, would like your thoughts. I have multiple videos on that. So I guess Fonzie just came out of nowhere to cover this. It'd be crazy if it was Fonzie that was doing this. That was another funny thing, is somebody unburned. Like, it's just absolute chaos happening on the blockchain right now. Their Safemoon is getting burnt. Like, so not only was your Safemoon not hold any value because the liquidity is gone, but also they were burning people's tokens, which I guess they might have reversed that at some point, but that's just hilarious that they're just like, oh yeah, let's unburn the burn wallet. It doesn't change anything, but I mean, I guess technically if there was liquidity in there, I guess it would make it so you couldn't, there was less liquidity to pull out or something. 3.7 billion tokens, that is. I think BNB is $1,000 coin in the next bull run, in my non-expert opinion, of course. Okay, cool. Still bullish. Nice. I'm not vesting into Safemoon ever again. I held 3.7 billion until yesterday when it was transferred with 3 addresses. Damn, bro. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Like, I don't like John. I don't like what John's done with the Safemoon, and I don't like the community that's blindly followed him and blindly attacked everybody who's been reasonable. I don't like that either. It's not like I won't forgive you or can't be cool with you, but like that's just how you conducted yourself. And if you say, "Hey man, sorry, I was a real douchebag," I'd be like, "Hey man, it's cool. Like no hard feelings." But while you're being a douchebag to me, I'm not gonna be like the most fond person of you. Is Fonzie in a space, or does he just has purple around him? Yeah, he just has purple around his face. Yeah, guys, if anything crazy happens, I'll do another live, but I'll probably just be like resting and stuff. You're still here trying to get attention. You're a bitch, Crypto Control. What's up, Mr. GameCube? How you doing, man? You think I'm a bitch because I'm live streaming everybody losing like $9 million? You think I shouldn't talk about that? That's kind of funny, man. Are you serious, man? You never like doubt that maybe you aren't thinking clearly and maybe you're wrong. Can't believe people still held Safemoon after John stole LP. That's what I'm saying, man. Scripted Ledger, I'm more concerned with BNB based tokens than BNB itself. I still like SDX, EGC, and Bitrise though. Yeah. No, I think that, you know, it's if BNB does well, then the tokens they're tied to do well in a sense. But I think legitimate projects like, you know, Evergrow, Squidgrow, whatever, I think they have a lot more potential to do well as opposed to like, yeah, there's just so many rug pulls on BSC. You literally couldn't write a better Netflix series. Mr. GameCube, man. You're nothing without Safemoon. That shows here. There's 100 people here. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm nothing without Safemoon, man? You trying to hurt my feelings, bro? Here's the thing is like, what the reason that I'm into crypto in the first place is because I realize that we all have the same potential, and it's just whether or not you're willing to put the effort in, right? You might have different problems holding you back, and you know, but generally speaking, we're all capable of what most everybody else is capable of, and we don't push ourselves nowhere near the extent of what we could. So if you're like trying to make me feel like I'm nothing without Safemoon, like as far as views and subscribers, yeah, you might be right. But if you think I can't do that again, then you're wrong, and I will. I'll show you. Crypto control, always trying to gain attention like a female in a rag. You're a bitch without Safemoon. Damn, bro, you are angry. How much money did you just lose? I didn't take your money. That was John. Like John took the LP. It wasn't me. The hacker took your money. I lost money too. And then all we did was provide a place for people to find out about like what went down and why it happened. But that makes me a bitch apparently. Safemoon is officially over. I don't know, Vadim. I don't know, but it just it doesn't look good. I don't know how they're gonna, if they can't recover those funds, then they'd have to fork up their own money. They'd have to fork up like $9 million, right? And if they can't do that, then most of what's left is going to leave, and then you're going to have just the absolute like diehard believers sticking it through, which, you know, a lot of those people have invested way too much. You know, you think, why is this guy like ignoring such logic and just believing blindly in something that demonstrated that it can't be trusted over and over and over again? It's because they put too much money in, generally speaking. I didn't know, and then somebody started looking up everybody's wallets. TNG did, and I'm like, oh, like that's why you're lying to other people and attacking me, is because you put way too much money in this thing, and you'd rather support it and attack me and lie than just admit that things don't look good. And that's not good, man. You should be more of an honest person. People are just butthurt about Safemoon and they're being rude for no reason. Yeah, I mean, I don't take it personally. Like, I play Call of Duty, right? Like, I'm a gamer. And you play Call of Duty, people will call you the N-word. People try to think of like, what is the worst thing that I could possibly say to you? So like, I don't have any feelings when it comes to words. Like, you have to be somebody I care about to hurt me. This is the best time to buy more, to be honest. I wouldn't buy, you know, and I don't think you can, because it could get exploited. But we'll do a quick check real quick on in this wallet and see if it's still got the money. And I'm probably going to take oh, it did do something. It did do something. He sent it to another wallet. Why wasn't this showing it earlier? Or am I looking at the wrong thing? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, okay. What is this Stonks token? Wasn't that was the one? I don't know why it's being messed with at all. Stonks token was the one that John Caroni bought, right? That was in CoffeeZilla's video. The Stonks token was bought based off of Ben Phillips' friend recommendation. I don't know. I'd have to like sit here and look at this for a while. I'm not like great at blockchain. I mean, it's not like insane, but you just gotta like know what you're looking at. All right, we'll check the latest. Expose them. Safemoon. Yo. This is pathetic. Let me check the Discord real quick to see if John said anything. You know what's funny is Mark and my lord, they came out and explained what happened. Safemoon has not explained anything to they're not saying, guys, this is what happened. This is what we need to do. And like, that's messed up, man. Like, we have to do that. And that's why like people get upset at us for forming spaces and talking about this. They don't give the right information. They're not going to give the right information. You know what I mean? The project's never going to tell you the truth about what's going on. Homie Wars is a good project in my opinion. Homie Wars? Great funny game. They're real. Safemoon always seems a bit shadowy and Phantom like too. Either you think it has potential or not. That's why we're here to make money. I think it got hacked. I think the money is insured, but we'll be fine. I don't, Jake, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think they had that much money insured. And do you think like they got somebody to insure $9 million? And here's the thing: even if it was enough to cover what was like how much was in there, would an insurance company be willing to pay $9 million for somebody who programmed a burn function into the contract that allowed for that to happen? You know what I mean? And didn't audit it. Like, I just don't see that happening. And I'm just being realistic, right? I'm not like trying to be negative. I'm trying to be positive too. Safemoon has $9 million in its treasury. It could totally inject that $9 million into the LP and say, there you guys go. Sorry, this contract's good. That's the right thing to do. If they did that, all the maxis would be like, yeah, see, we told you. But at that point, they would have to have been like, hey guys, we got this audited and we know this won't happen, right? But I don't know, man. The fact that they're just not talking, that just says a lot. He's the owner of Stonks. New community Safemoon is formed. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Homie Wars is okay. I already read that. Using my last $50 to buy not Safemoon. Roni, my phone is like basically dead. That's why I ended the Twitter space. I'm using my last $50 to, okay, I already read that. The value jumped all over my wallet. Glad I found this live. Yeah. We covered all the like information that you needed for the most part, unless there's something new happening. But yeah, just don't do anything and just hope that they give you your money. I mean, that's my advice, but that might backfire. Maybe you should try to move it and sell it. But just from what everybody was saying, they say if you try to sell it, you're going to lose everything. So I don't know. I don't want to give advice in this position. I just know that I personally would not do anything, right? I wouldn't try to do anything. But you make your own decision. You do what's best for you. Alpha Coin Metaverse. Okay. Roni, I don't think you like me, man. I think you come in my spaces and you talk trash to me. Safemoon was a hard lesson for me. I did not sold, but it always sits in my wallet and forced me now to take some profit when something is pumping. Now this happened, I bet MoonPay will not be an off-ramp or they'll stop. Okay, you might have to walk me through. Oh, I have to log in. They say there's something in the private notes. You love me? You know, I'm not quite convinced of that. I think you come in my spaces and you go, "Oh my god, crypto control, shut the fuck." You tell me to shut up, that I'm boring. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna kick you." I don't know why I would like sit here and talk to you if you find me so boring. I'm gonna log in real quick and see if that works. Ah, crap, I have all these different passwords, man. Damn it, bro. Oh, wait. You guys have like 3 different passwords you use and you're like trying to remember which one it is. Oh, son of a gun. Okay, it's just not working. Like, I don't know. My login's not working. But if you want to just like send me a screenshot of it on like Twitter or something, I could show it. Seriously, that wasn't me, bro. Dude, I don't know. Maybe I'll join your space in a minute, but I'm probably about to end this live stream. I think we got the information, guys. What I can do, check the tokens the exploiter held. Like, that's what I was just looking at, and like I was just getting confused, to be honest. Yeah, I already backed out of it. But I'm just gonna end it here, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and yeah, like I said, if something else happens, I'll either go live tomorrow or I'll just make a video, depending on like if big news comes out. I might just throw a video together to cover it all. But if it's like breaking, immediate, huge, John's in jail, John's run, like I don't know, something of that magnitude, I'll go live, and so that we can all kind of come together and deal with it. Yeah, I can't see the message, Pablo Natarifa. I can't see it. So if you want to send it to me on Twitter, I'll share it on Twitter. Okay, Daniel, I'll check that out. Great seeing you guys. You guys have a great day. Hopefully you get your money back if you lost money today. And if not, then, you know, we'll just have to like learn to look at proxy contract. You might have to like start upgrading our skills to be able to see this kind of stuff. You guys have a good day. I'll catch you guys later.